I did that timing wrong. I apologize. We're here with, this is actually the 4th episode, but the 3rd I'm on of When the Blitz Hits the Fan. I'm here with my co-host, Med. How you doing, man?
Doing great, man. Just finished up my first full audio free show today. So that's a great way to start it off, ain't it?
Well, hey, we'll have a really good show that everybody can hear now, right?
Yeah, no. Lesson learned, I guess.
And we've got Pete back, who's been on Fun Football, and he filled in for me last week. Thank you, dude, for filling in too. I really appreciate it. I didn't get to say that enough, so thanks, man.
No, thank you for having me.
How you doing, man? You doing good?
Yeah, I mean, we got some NFL football. I'm not as good as last week when I only had to wait a couple of days for NFL football. Now waiting 2 weeks just feels like an eternity. I'm not into the flag football.
It's brutal, and I can't. I'd actually been to a XFL game, and it was actually fun, but it's a far cry from the NFL. Sadly, let me get Joe in really quick, and then I'll say we'll see how he's doing. There he is, Joe. How you doing, man?
Good. What's up, guys?
We just started. Okay, normally we're not going to do this, but I said it on Fun Football. I got a couple things to say, and then I'm going to let y'all take the floor with whatever. Honestly, whatever topic we want to start with. I think we should do the conference championship games this time if y'all are cool with it. But I got to say thanks to my wife for filling in. Bill wasn't available on Fun Football Pod on Friday, and I know this is When the Blitz Hits the Fan, but we have a lot of same fans. And she did an awesome job. Med was not the only one. JB and NFL Outdated, a lot of people left good comments, and she was awesome. And it broke a viewing record, which me and Pete were just talking. It's been really rough the last week and a half, honestly. I've been trying since my aunt passed away, who's my mom, basically. So I just want to say thank you to her for filling in and doing a freaking awesome job, and to getting almost 2,000 views, which is just kind of mind-blowing. So I got to say thanks to her, and to my aunt. I miss her this episode. I'm sorry I couldn't hop on with y'all last week, but this one's for her. It's been really rough the last few days. I wanted to share all this cool stuff with her, some of the family drama that's been going on, and she wasn't there. And it's that's kind of reality. That sucks. But talking football on Friday with my wife was surprisingly, I was ready to do it with her, and actually had a lot of fun. So I think I'm gonna have a blast with y'all. But thank you for the podcasting community for responding to so many comments, and I appreciate it. So, and to you guys for all saying something. I didn't get to say it last week on the air, so I just wanted to recognize y'all. So thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, somber note over. Are you guys cool if we start with the conference games, or you wanted to hit something else? I don't really care. It's up to y'all.
No, I would like to applaud you for having the courage to talk like that and open yourself up to the community, and I think a lot of people ignore the mental health side of things, and so I applaud you. Definitely a role model in that shape and form.
Thanks, man. Honestly, I don't think I would have hopped on Friday if the wife hadn't stepped up, and it meant a lot because I've talked about the show way too much, and that was when she offered it. I was like, well, I can't turn her down, and then she did a really great job, and it meant a lot. I don't mean to tear up, but it was really cool because it just I don't think there's anybody else I could have done that episode with. Bill would have been good, but that was rough, and it was I wouldn't have done it had my uncle on her phone, my aunt's phone, her husband liked all the episodes. It was like a gentle nudge to do it. So I was hoping not to get all emotional. I was going to try not to, but it really I don't know if she'll even watch it, but it meant a lot that my wife did it, and that so many people watched was pretty legit. So,
you're back.
So I want to say thank you to everybody who has left comments and stuff too. Means a lot, seriously. So thanks, guys, and thank you, Pete. Seriously, for hopping in both times too, man. That meant a lot. So, and for what you just said. Didn't really want to do it all publicly, but I was like, you know what? That was one of the things that I like about the show is it's a platform to do that. So, yeah. So, let's do this episode. Which game are we going to talk first?
Detroit.
We can go in chronological order and go to Chiefs, Baltimore, and go to Detroit.
It's it was crazy that the coaching was such a factor in that game, right?
Which one?
Like the Chiefs threw the kitchen sink at Baltimore, and then I want to let y'all go, but like, damn, I was so impressed with how they came out and they threw everything they had at the Ravens for the first 15 minutes on offense, really like 20. And then they didn't have anything left after that, but they didn't need it because they had a game plan for Lamar, and it worked.
And one of the
And
things
the
that
Ravens don't know how to play from behind either. They have no clue. They should have been running the ball, and they didn't.
Well, that's one of the key things that actually happened. The Ravens before this game was actually the number one rated rush offense in the NFL at this point, and they only ran the ball 16 times. One of the key things I will say about both games,
I think it was like 10 rushes by running backs too, right, man?
8.
Oh my gosh, that's pitiful.
And then the second one.
Sorry. No, by running back 6, because Zay Flowers had 2, and he's a wideout.
That's true.
Dang. That's true. So Lamar had the rest. Yeah. See, they got away from their identity, and I was listening to this on Bill Simmons. They don't know how to play from behind at all.
No. And also at the same time, you look at the 4 teams that are in here, and I'm just going to touch this up on both sides, is that you basically had 2 teams that had the experience and the knowledge that they've been there before. They have been on this platform, this stage before, and you had 2 teams that were not. And you look at what the coaching was able to actually do, and that gave them a really decisive edge as far as like between these 2 games. And you look at what Patrick Mahomes, I mean, only 2 quarterbacks have beaten them in the playoffs, Burrow and Brady. And it's just one of those things where experience does trump youth and talent. I mean, the Baltimore Ravens are a very good young team. And you look at the mental miscues that they had. You know, I know that Lamar Jackson has a huge slice of this pie on what he did, but you look at the fact that Zay Flowers had that huge catch and then, you know, shoved the guy down, spun the ball, penalty, got a first down, reached out to get the touchdown, had that fumble, and then went over to the bench and punched the bench. I mean, you're going to lose that fight every time. And when, you know, you could also factor in the clothesline, the WWE clothesline that Jones had on Patrick Mahomes.
That was fun, right?
Junk. Yeah. I mean, Travis Kelce talking junk. Van Noy comes over, headbutts him, personal foul. And when you look at stuff like that, it really shows that the Chiefs, because they have been there before, know how to actually play the game. And they had a lot better defense than a lot of people really gave them credit for. And, you know, they're ranked 2nd, I believe, in points against and yards against.
Oh, it was extremely high. I mean, it was pretty much them and the Chiefs defense by far, right, guys? Like, hey, Shay, I was going to say hey to everybody really quick. Hey, Shay, and Sports Talk Network and Steve. Both Steves. We got 2 different Steves here. Yeah, it was Baltimore and KC's defense by a mile. Like, this is disappointing to me for Harbaugh. I want to get into that whole angle, but I'm a little disappointed in him. But Spags just has done this. He runs laps, man. He could be a head coach. And the fact that Andy Reid's got him there as a DC with this talent, and I know I want to hear Joe's thoughts on this in a little bit, but that was decisive. Like, I never really felt like the game was in doubt. Did y'all? Like, it was a close game, but I never really felt like Baltimore was threatening at any point.
It's because of how it started, how they got punched in the mouth right off the bat.
They were, it's just Kelce, man. He was just ripping them a new one. Like, that was, it was sad because me and my wife, we were watching Buffalo Wild Wings, and we were like, we both wanted the Chiefs to go down. I'm a little over it. Like, I wanted to see Lamar pull this off and something new, you know. But the way they came out, they just had every answer in the first half. And then I'm not saying Lamar's turnovers weren't like the difference. They hurt. But this reminded me a lot of the Rodgers. I hate to go to. It reminded me of Dak too, because they're very similar playoff track records and like their records, their performances, everything. But this reminded me a lot of Aaron Rodgers at home against the 49ers 2 years ago, his last playoff game, and he only put up 10 and had not a good performance against the 49ers at home, and it was just a bad look. And that's kind of how I feel for Lamar. This was a golden opportunity to beat a lesser Mahomes offense, and all he had to do was play a solid day. And it wasn't just him, but they just had no answers at all. And I'm starting to wonder if he's going to get there as a passer and ever be able to get over this hump. He's younger than Dak by 4 years, but I'm starting to kind of question it because he's going to have to progress significantly as a passer. This is the best supporting cast he's had on offense and probably on defense in his career. And still, I mean, Mahomes, his targets are probably going to get better on offense. Like, I mean, Joe have talked about that, but Rice is going to get better. Kelsey will decline, but they'll restock that cupboard, and they've got a D. I don't know. It's interesting. And the rest of the AFC is going to get better. How is Lamar's chances going to get better? CJ Stroud's coming. Burrow's coming back. You got to think either Jacksonville might wake up with Trevor Lawrence. They had a lot of injuries this year. The Raiders could be coming. There's a bunch of teams in the AFC that are going to be there, and I question if Lamar is ever going to figure this out. Sorry, that's my whole pick.
Man, that, to me, like, that was Lamar doing Lamar things, man.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
It's a saying for a reason, dude. I'm gonna go ahead and bring it spicy, dude. Like, that was Lamar doing Lamar things. Like, Lamar and Dak are more similar than you even let on. Like, they're great.
They so are. I think both are just.
But then as soon as the playoffs start, they just can't handle the pressure of the moment or whatever it is. But it's not 100% Lamar's fault. Like, Lamar, he didn't play well, but Med brought up, the stupid penalties. You have to know. You have to know. I mean, number one, you're an NFL player. You know the rules, right? But you have any NFL player that doesn't know, like, doesn't play for the Chiefs. You have to know in the playoffs they're going to get every call that is possible to give them. They're going to get those calls.
I wish I could look up the penalty. I'm trying to find the penalties. How many penalties were there?
Penalties for 95 yards.
So how many was there in KC?
You can't You can't do stupid things, you know what I mean, against the Chiefs and expect not to get called. You're going to get called every time, especially in the playoffs. Like, so I thought there was a huge lack of discipline on Baltimore's part. And I think it goes to what Med talked about the inexperience, and they got frustrated and they started letting their frustrations out. But the more you do that, the more it snowballs and the worse it gets. Also, the Ravens played zone, so much zone in that game. Like, has nobody seen the blueprint yet? Has nobody watched that Christmas Day game against the Raiders and seen?
You got to get pressure on Mahomes, and you got to push that line back. And Thuney was out in this game.
You have
all
to
pro guard, and they couldn't get pressure on him.
You have to play man and double Kelsey, dude. That's the secret. You have to bracket Kelsey, and you have to play man, because Patrick Mahomes is too good at getting guys to find the soft spot in the zone, and he just has them sit down there, and he just tears you apart. Like, playing zone against Patrick Mahomes you might as well just chalk up the game. You're gonna lose every time.
Joe, I think you nailed it, man. I think this is a failure in Harbaugh to not have a solid game plan. If he just had a solid game plan, they win this game. Kelsey was, what was he? They were 10 of 10. Mahomes was. That's unacceptable for that good of a defense.
I blame the defensive coordinator for staying.
I blame both coordinators because they had no answers on either side.
The Chiefs came out and scored on the opening drive, dude, and just marched right down the field on them, right? Like, and then you after that you continue to play zone, and it's like, I don't understand it, dude. Like,
I know,
you don't even think to change it up. Like, even at halftime, like, you don't even think, like, hey, let's start running some man concept here, like,
or start running the ball. Both coordinators, they were never like that far out of it. It was only like they got it to the 2-score game, and then to me, when it's that close, you can still run the ball. And Lamar just wanted to prove he could do as a passer, but they were daring him to do that, and it wasn't going to work. And then the other side, like you said, they did come out and make some adjustments. I mean, they at least didn't let the Chiefs score. I feel like they could have if they wanted to, but that was a terrible way to start. Like, that's what the Chiefs have done for years. Yeah, I was disappointed in Baltimore, honestly. Like, seriously,
dude, that defensive game plan was terrible. Like, just absolutely terrible.
I feel like it was terrible on both sides, Joe. I really do. I think it was terrible offensive game plan and defensive.
Not running the ball was a mistake too, but to me, the biggest mistake was running zone for the whole game. Like, it's not like Baltimore was outmatched where they couldn't match up man for man. Like Baltimore has the horses, dude. They definitely
They probably
could.
actually were the more talented team, but that's when coaching prevails. And we're going to get into Dan Campbell and coaching in a minute. But coaching and quarterback play prevail in the playoffs.
I got something for that too. Dan Campbell. Oh man.
I mean, the Ravens run zone all year. They ran zone 70% of the time.
I get it, but you're right, and it worked for them. But like,
I mean, they were the best defense in the entire league, running zone 70% of the time.
I get it. But when you get to the playoffs and you're playing Patrick Mahomes, who is the epitome
we're saying, though, we're criticizing them for going away from the run because that's what got them there. And then when we're saying for the defense, we're saying you have to switch it up when you get there because now we're in the playoffs. I mean, we can't have it both ways, can we?
You can. Like, as a coach, it's your job to adapt to what's coming at you. It's your job. Med is a football coach. He understands
17 points. Like, good defensive day. 2 sacks, 8 quarterback hits, a pass deflection. I mean, yeah. I agree with you that the defense they needed to make an adjustment because Travis Kelce got 11 catches, and I kept watching the game going like, can we just double him? Can we just do the Patriot thing and just take away the guy that's killing you and make Rice kill you? Make them just do something else. That guy seems like he's killing you, right? Like, do something. And then he kept getting wide open. I know he made some freakish catches, but like, just take that guy away, please. And that's what I'm upset about. Is like, why didn't they take Kelce away at some point?
How many yards did the Chiefs have in the second half, though? I feel like the Chiefs, the Ravens defensive coordinator made some adjustments at halftime because it didn't feel like the Chiefs, other than that big Scantling catch and some dumb penalties. I mean, did the Chiefs even have that many yards in the second half? Did they even have over 100 in the second half? Because like looking at it, it doesn't seem like it to me. They had less than 300.
Was that Big Zay Flowers play in the second half?
Well, no, yeah, but I'm talking about the Chiefs offense. It looked like the Baltimore defense. Sorry, I flipped. I might have said it wrong. The Baltimore defense made adjustments at halftime and slowed the Chiefs defense down.
So let's go through their possessions. Their first one, they punted, they got 7 yards. Second one, they punted, they got 23 yards. Third, they punted for 4 yards, and then they punted again for 32 yards, and then punted again for 7 yards, and then the game ended. So they got dominated in the second half defensively. They actually did make adjustments, to your point. You know what they just didn't do is they didn't make adjustments on offense because it just felt. I mean, they made some good plays on offense, and then they made some foolish plays.
I'm going to be controversial here. Aaron Rodgers, to me, outside of that one Super Bowl, yeah, he got to a lot of conference championships, but he would choke in the playoffs too. And I would have said this if I was doing podcasts 2-3 years ago. I was over the dude then because he kept happening in the playoffs. He was like a Peyton Manning, where he just would fall short in the playoffs. And this one really, this Lamar game, so sunk in like that Aaron Rodgers game, where they just had no answers on offense and they could not get it going. And the 49ers had a game plan that day. They just were like, we're going to double Devontae Adams. And Aaron Jones ended up being our leading receiver in that game, our running back. They just had no answers on offense. Like, yeah, the Zay Flowers play might have, like, that was a huge swing. But I'm starting to, like, really, like Joe said it too, I'm starting to really just doubt Lamar's ability as a passer. They're going to have to give him some more targets. But, like, is the guy ever going to be that good of a passer to get them there over the hump? The AFC is just going to get better, man.
I think at this point you've seen Lamar's ceiling. Like,
yeah, this was it.
Lamar was an MVP candidate with 3,000 passing yards.
Oh, he's going to win MVP. I would bet money on it.
Yeah, but
he'll win MVP.
Bro, 3,000 passing yards. Like, Justin Fields almost had 3,000 passing yards. Like, the difference was the Ravens had an awesome run game and an awesome defense. And, you know, they were so far ahead. Like you said, they don't play from behind very much. Look what they did to the Niners. Like, they scraped them, right? Like, it's just Lamar is very talented at what he does, but he's not Lamar. If you're looking for Lamar to elevate your team passing wise, like to win a game or a championship, like, I don't see it happening, dude. Like,
that's just not what he does. No,
I don't either, especially because I think CJ Stroud's going to be coming. Houston's coming. You've got, I mean, we're going to talk about the Chargers, but they got Harbaugh. But you've got Joe Burrow coming back, the only guy who can actually slay Mahomes that's not retired. The other guy being Tom Brady. So you got him coming back with a team that's going to, even though they're going to lose some players, they're going to be reloaded. This was his shot. This was a golden goose egg opportunity, and he just laid an egg.
Well, also at the same time, like we discussed a couple times, Munchak, who is the offensive coordinator for the Ravens, he just didn't really do him any favors. If running the football got you there, then you should do that. Now, what they did, as far as the Kansas City Chiefs did, is they let Lamar eat. He still almost got 340 yards altogether, but he has those 2 costly turnovers. He had that fumble.
All those turnovers, backbreakers,
and then he had that interception towards the end. Now, as far as like the ceiling goes, I agree with Joe, and I do agree with Pete. I agree with all of us, really. This is the ceiling. You kind of have to actually have more playmakers, but also at the same time, you have to be able to stick with what got you there to begin with. And if you ran the ball as much as you did to get you to that point, to get you on the doorstep of going to a Super Bowl, you need to stick with that and not run the ball just 16 times.
And how many of those were quarterback runs? So they weren't even designed runs,
8.
Gosh, that's terrible. Okay, so thoughts for y'all. I want to do Super Bowl picks when we get there.
But what about the Detroit game?
Yeah, we're going to get to that. Last quick thought on this Baltimore thing. What do they do now? What do they do? I mean, they're going to lose Beckham. They're going to need to get another target. At least they got the Andrews Likely thing at tight end. To me, the smartest thing they can do is try to go out and get a running back to pair with Lamar. But I just don't know where they go from here. I don't unless they get there's not another Christian McCaffrey. So unless they get a dynamite running back, I don't think they're going to be this good next year.
I think
this is the second time now that Lamar's won MVP and flamed out in the playoffs. So
I think Edwards was a pretty decent back, dude.
He was solid. Yeah, I'm thinking special. I think Gibbs is going to be like McCaffrey. They don't grow on trees. There's only so many of them.
There aren't really any special.
No, I mean unless the Packers are stupid and let Aaron Jones go.
In free agency, it's possible Saquon Barkley could be a free agent.
That'd be a good pairing.
There's a couple of guys. Derrick Henry, I think.
I'm hoping the Packers go after him. I keep hearing rumors about it. Henry would be interesting for them because they're used to him. And in the AFC, that'd be kind of cool.
I mean, I'm just
Justice Hill in Baltimore too. They really like Justice Hill. I know it's hard to tell who they like based on the last game because they didn't give it to any running backs. But the game before that, they gave it to him a lot. And the week 18 when they rested all their starters, we
were talking about our bets.
Yeah,
I totally thought you were right too. I thought they were going to go Hill instead.
They run the ball.
Yeah. I don't think
they were like, wait, we could run? No, let's line Lamar back and sling it.
If they just ran the ball, they could have ran a lot of play actions, and they could have ran delays and QB options. They would have had so many more options.
This was sad, man. Bad game plan.
I don't think that's what the Baltimore Ravens need, though. I think they need a top flight receiver to go with Flowers. I think they need one more playmaking pass catcher, and then I don't know, man. If that can get you over the hump, I don't know.
I don't think anything's gonna, because with the Mahomes, you got to have a guy that can go. It sucks that it's this basic, but I kind of feel like you got to have a guy that can go throw for throw with Mahomes in the playoffs, and you got to have other pieces. But Burrow's not afraid of him. Burrow's not afraid of Mahomes. That's the only reason, and he's had success against him. Josh Allen can't even do it.
He does it in
it wasn't just his fault, but Josh Allen can't even get over this Mahomes hump. And Josh Allen, to me, is a far better quarterback than Mahomes or than Jackson is, and Allen can't do it. So if Allen can't do it,
when you're talking about adding offensive weapons, you got a few guys. You got Mike Evans, you got Michael Pittman coming out into free agency, and also you could look at the draft. You got Keenan Coleman. Really and truthfully, because that I've been doing some mock drafts and stuff on the side, getting ready for you guys. But
I know.
One thing I can say about this upcoming draft is it's not just deep with quarterbacks; it's extremely deep with receivers. You can find you a Troy Franklin from Oregon. You can find you a Keenan Coleman from Florida State.
Worthy from Texas.
Xavier Worthy.
I agree.
And even his teammate Adonis Mitchell is going to be in this draft. It's a huge draft. Jermaine Burton who has had a phenomenal year in Alabama this year, is projected to be a 4th or 5th round pick right now. And
I really like that. I really like that pairing from Texas with Worthy and Mitchell. They're both good receivers.
And really and truthfully,
they'll probably be available. If I was I was actually, I brought up Worthy because I think he'd kind of be what the Ravens need. You know, he's like his body type and you know, his.
Well, also, they may lose a Patrick Queen. The Ravens might have to. I don't know if they're gonna have the money. I don't know their cap situation. I'm gonna start doing all that research soon. I'm kind of sad I haven't done my mock draft stuff yet, but they might lose Patrick Queen, and he's vital for them.
Oh, extremely. I mean, he's Roquan Smith's Robin to his Batman. And, you know, if you want to say a game-changing running back, you know, if you don't really look at free agency, you can get Will Shipley from Clemson. I mean, he's a pretty decent running back.
Or Estime from Notre Dame.
Yeah, if he's going to be
the beast.
Yes, he is.
And he's a great blocker. Estime is an excellent blocker as well.
So they've got some options, but I think they're going to regress because I think the AFC is going to get better. Any more closing thoughts on them? Are you guys ready to do? I'm excited for this one. You guys ready to do Detroit?
I just don't think Lamar is going to win a Super Bowl, dude. Just to be honest.
Not me neither. Dak's not going to win a Super Bowl. Justin Herbert. I'm just kidding. We'll talk about him in a minute. Dak and seriously, Lamar are not going to win another Super Bowl, and neither is Aaron Rodgers for that matter.
Justin Herbert is going to use Isaac. Justin Herbert is going to use some of his NFL money, and he's going to show up at your front door one day and just pound you.
No, Dad is. I've gotten that like 7, dude. I've got
all this crap. Like dude. Where does he live? Somebody get him.
I've gotten so much shit and stuff. Sorry, I've gotten so much crap on Twitter the last couple days. I made a Kenny Clark post, which was a mistake, but I was trying to say they need to do something about his cap number. He's one of our best defensive players. You're not going to let him go, probably. But it's like 27 mils. The Packers got to make something. It's funny because his cap number goes down the next few years. So if they can endure this year, it's going to get better for them. And he's only 28. So they're going to keep him. But when I went after Justin Herbert, I did not expect the Chargers masses to come out after me and be like, he's the one.
Well, there's actually no such thing as Charger masses. There's like 3 fans. They just have alternate accounts.
No, there's more than 3. I got comments from like 15.
That's just all their alt accounts. They're just hitting you with like 12 different alts.
From San Diego.
I want to hit the Lions game, but I had a cool idea. I wanted to do either we all give our list, Pete, Joe, and Med, or I had a cool idea. We could do a draft and we could go around and pick quarterbacks, top 10, and make our own top 10. Either way, however y'all want to do it. So,
I did it.
But we got to talk Lions game first.
Huh? Yeah. And also, folks, me being the co-host of this show, if you have anything you want us to touch up on, please put it in the comments.
I did a bad intro. Please go. Future shows are going to be on. I actually got the Twitter linked. They're going to be on our Twitter. So this one's on the Fun Football Pod. But I want the comments to be part of the show, and we want to get this thing growing. So, hey, there's my dad. What's up?
Hey, Mr. Tom.
We got 6 people watching right now. Yeah, you found me. It's on my Facebook. The Facebook pages are too new.
It's on mine too. So
okay, guys.
So does anybody on the panel blame anyone other than Dan Campbell for the Lions' loss?
Josh Reynolds sucks.
Yeah.
No, it's well.
Because I'd be interested.
Med was making some Jared Goff memes. That was interesting.
Oh, when I said choke alert.
Okay, I got one, but it's not. It's not a person.
Dude.
Momentum stole this one. That momentum. Here's the thing. That play that hit the Lions dude in the face mask was such a gut punch of a play, and then for Gibbs to fumble the next play, none of that is on Dan Campbell. They had the right 2 play calls there. What he did later screwed them. So momentum really stole this one so significantly.
I have to disagree.
That was such a huge swing.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree with what you're saying about the momentum.
But yeah, Dan Campbell was the biggest reason.
But I disagree in the sense that I don't even disagree that Dan Campbell had the right play calls because Reynolds just dropped it both times. But
I know. And the other one Goff just missed.
Going for it, like the Niners came out, they got a field goal at the first drive of the second half, right? So they're down 14.
Can you all see the comments I'm throwing up or no? Are they hidden?
Yeah, I see them.
Okay, just making sure.
Tom, I totally agree. Dan is Dan, but he has got to learn when to take the points. You have to take the field goal there and go back up 17, because then even if the Niners get there, they went on that 17-point run and it was a tie game. But if everything else happens the same, but you take that field goal, you're still up 3 points, dude. Like,
I agree.
It just, to me, that call was criminal, dude. Like he kicked the field goal at the end of the first half when he could have put the dagger in, and it was 4th down, right? So it was a risk. You're up 21 or 21. I think it was 21-7 or 21-0.
No, so yeah, he almost didn't take the field goal at the end of the first half. You could tell it took everything in him to take the field goal at the end of the first half. Go 24-7. The 49ers come out and make it 24-10. Then the gut punch play happened in the face mask. Boom, bounces off. Ayuk gets the stupid catch. It's 24-17. Then the stupid fumble Gibbs happens. 24-24. It was just.
But what I'm saying is, like, at the end of the first half, it took everything for him to kick the field goal, right?
I know.
But
it did. You can tell.
That's when he should have went for it. Like you're up.
Interesting.
You're up 21.
No, see, I like that he went up 3 scores.
You got the chance to put the dagger in him right then and there, dude. And you.
I don't know. I like it.
I wasn't mad at the call until he went for it on that 4th and 2 when he could have took the field goal in the third quarter. That's when I got mad at that call in the first half. I'm like, dude, you should have went for it then. That was.
So you're saying either be all aggressive? Okay.
No, I'm not saying be all aggressive or be all conservative. I'm saying you have to, again, it was my same argument with the Ravens. You have to be able to adapt to the situation. That right there was situational football 101. You take the field goal so that even if the Niners go on a run like they did, you still end up 3 points. If you have the opportunity to go up by 3 possessions, you have to do it.
Well, Joe, that's why I actually would have taken the field goal at the end of the first half to go up 3 scores, because the difference in not getting it is such a momentum swing, and they only would have been up by 14. But then I agree with you. I would have taken the points later on as well. I would have taken the points at any shot. Now, people on Twitter were saying, and you guys can correct me if I don't remember the second one, but one of them was a 48-yarder, so we don't know if he would have hit that. Was the other one 46 yards? I thought they were closer on the other one in the second half.
47. So, I mean, it's not a gimme that he's going to hit both, but it was perfect weather. So it was likely 6 points he tossed away. And then we haven't gotten to this point yet, but the thing at the end that really bothered me, Med, was they were down 10 after all this screwery, and there was some other stuff too. Goff missed 1, Reynolds missed 2. There was a bunch of crap that happened. They're down 10 points on that last drive. Now, the game's probably already in doubt, but to run it on 3rd down, I don't completely hate the call, but then to use the timeout, that was the worst blunder of the whole thing to me, because regardless if you kick the field goal to make it a 1-score game or score like they did and make it a 3-point game, what I really hate about it was that he took the timeout, making it so they had to get the onside kick. And you saw the stats on the onside kicks this year. That was very unlikely to get. So I wish they'd either just lined up and taken a field goal or done a no huddle, just taking a shot at the end zone. I hate that he used that timeout. That ended the game. Yeah. So I'm
going to. was over before that. Man.
Yeah, it was already over before that. That one just really sucks because. Yeah.
So the way that I look at it is really and truthfully, the momentum started shifting before the first half actually happened, when you had C.J. Gardner-Johnson waving to the crowd like the game is over when it ain't even halftime yet. Now, if I sit there and I see that as a San Francisco player and I played semi-pro football, I'm going to come out there and I'm going to light you up.
And, that was not.
And they were looking at that on that tablet. And
Debo made comments after too. He did. Yeah. You're right, Med.
So one of the things that I actually noticed, and this is going back on, you being experienced and actually doing stuff when you're there. You had Dan Campbell take a passive approach when he took the 3 points. I agree with Joe that they should have at least tried for the touchdown. They should have went.
Where were they, guys? Hey, really quick, remind me. It's been a long few days.
Like the 4-yard line?
Yeah, he was on the 4-yard line, and it was 4th and goal, right?
21-yard field goal.
Yeah. Okay. So 3-yard line, 4th and goal. Okay.
Basically an old extra point is basically how far out he was. But when you are passive in the first half, but aggressive in the second half, when you need to be a little bit more passive, go for that field goal and try instead of trying to go for it. It didn't really make any sense from a coaching perspective.
Exactly.
Really, I just
agree.
think the opposite of of both of you, because like at the beginning you're up big, and like you said, 2 scores, you make it a 3-score game, so you play conservative when you're up big because there's no reason to take shots while you have the command and the lead. And then as you are down and you're losing the momentum, you take more shots because you need to. I mean, I get it completely.
Yeah, you look, you're not wrong. Like the traditional football sense says that you're right. But sometimes you have to go against traditional football wisdom in the like, because traditional football wisdom also like isn't always right. Like it's right.
Why did you take the last game?
I like the 3 points at the end of the first half though, because that guaranteed you to be up 3 scores. If you don't get the points, you're
do what you need to do when you need to do it. It's not about the general approach. It's not about saying, okay, we're going to be conservative in the first half and we're going to be aggressive in the second half. It's a drive-by-drive basis. It's a play-by-play.
Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They were up big, and so in that drive, they decided to go, we're going to take the chip shot field goal, go up 3 scores, because in this drive, that's what makes sense. They didn't write it down beforehand. Like, no matter what, if we're at the end of the first half, no matter what the score is, we're going to take the field goal. They didn't write it in like that. They did do it play-by-play.
I feel like Pete, maybe I don't know if you guys know the stat on this, but just generally what I saw from lines this year was pretty much Dan Campbell was going to go for it. That was actually like serious restraint for him to kick that field goal. Well, like I don't know the numbers, but I'm betting it's in the 90s.
I'm just a big judger on what did happen and not on like, you know what I mean? Like he did end up kicking the field goal.
Also, so I gotta bring up
that's
this
what
point.
He did do.
Well, Purdy actually did not play very well. I heard this on Bill Simmons. Purdy is he made this incredible Hulk reference, which kind of cracked me up, but it's kind of true. He was dead asleep, not doing anything. It was kind of the week before too, at the Packers game. And then he woke up in the Packers game. That last drive was awesome, but he had another pick that didn't happen. And there was multiple in the Packer game he got lucky with. So is there a streamer link? I don't understand. Oh, you mean to join? Oh, is that what you mean? Janae, let me know. Anyways, you said this last week or on Friday too. I was confused. I don't know if that's what you mean. Because I'm like, you're watching the show. So if that's what you mean, leave a comment. But anyways, Purdy's runs were huge. They were difference making in this game. Right. But he was asleep for the first half in both of these 2 playoff games now. And if they do this against KC, they're in big trouble. Dude. But the way the dude, like he was saying, like hulks up and wakes up, this is some weird stuff. Because like especially in this game, he looked just pitiful. Had a pick and almost had another one. That first pick was bad. And then the second pick, Janae wants to hop on. That's what she's saying. It just that was nuts. Like, it wasn't just the momentum. Purdy really looked significantly better in the second half. I'm seriously wondering what's going on with the guy, because this happened in both playoff games.
Well, they started feeding Deebo Samuel in that first drive after the second half, and that kind of got the aggression level up. And then you start hitting big plays. Another big play was, even though it was only like a 5-yard catch, was Juwan Jennings catching that one-handed while he's getting tackled. I mean, it's little momentum plays like that will eventually build up your team's morale to the point where you can actually start hitting the deep shots, like what happened with Ayuk, what happened with, and McCaffrey, he was my MVP pick for this year. He's been proving it throughout the whole season. He had 132 yards combined with receiving and rushing and 2 more touchdowns. He scored 4 touchdowns in this playoffs. And he's just been a beast. And for the most part,
he got robbed of one too. He got vultured at the end.
That sideline dime pass was pretty special too. I like that. I think it was to Kittle. That was nice. Dude. But I was also impressed with the Lions of the way they decided to come out and run right at San Fran. We're like, we're just going to punch you in the mouth. Way harder than KC did against Baltimore. And they just, like Med was making awesome posts, and they just were like, we're going to punch it right down your throat. Montgomery had a dynamite first half.
Yeah, so did Gibbs. Like that for the Bears.
And then they got a.
Oh man, right? Where was that Montgomery? I actually always liked Montgomery. I always thought he was a pretty solid player.
Once Gibbs fumbled, they went away from running the ball, though.
Honestly, I'm starting to wonder if Campbell actually he's a great motivator. I'm starting to wonder if he's a great coach, because
he's a good coach.
The coordinators, everyone wants Ben Johnson. They came out. I think he is, but the game plan in the second half was so bad. They had no answer once they lost momentum at all.
They got away from the run.
All those job offers.
They got away from the run, and Dan Campbell made a couple of bad decisions, in my opinion. I wouldn't have gone for it. You know, I would have taken that field goal in the third quarter to put yourself back up after the Niners kicked the field goal. To me, that was a horrible mistake. In fact, I think it was very, very costly because also think about it. It's like a 48-yarder. So you're right. It's not guaranteed that the dude's going to make it. And the Lions kicker was kicking like 80% or something. He was not
bad.
Terribly great, right? Not terribly good. But the momentum swing off of a missed field goal is not the same as the momentum swing off of a turnover on downs. Like that galvanizes a defense, dude. And so I would rather take the missed field goal than to take the turnover on downs and have the whole Niners team sparked. Also,
I think he was more looking at it on the positive side of like, if I kick a field goal, I tie the game. If I score a touchdown, I go up, and that's momentum. And I feel like he's all about.
I'm talking about in the third quarter after the Niners got the ball first and went down, and it was 24-10. And then, like, the very next drive is when Dan Campbell went
for them to go up 27-10 instead of going for it.
27-10 because then what happened? If you look at and I wanted him to do this at the time.
3-score argument that defeats your earlier argument.
No, it's the same argument. Like it's the 3-score argument. But my argument is that there are times to go for the jugular for the throat, and there are times to play conservative, and you can have both times in the same game, man.
Yeah, are you in hindsight? Do you just know that because it happened after the fact? I mean, the Ravens to go against their entire game plan all year, and because they lost.
Panel. We need to make this our panel, Ned. Just us four.
Look, I just watch.
Can you imagine when they play each other next year?
And I know that sometimes you got to go against the grain, dude. Like sometimes conventional.
So every decision that's consistent with their past decisions that didn't work out, you're like, well, they should have gone against the grain. Well, yeah, I mean, that's Monday. This is what Tuesday afternoon quarterbacking at its greatest.
Except that I'm saying it during the game.
Matt, I sent you a message on Facebook. Check it really quick.
I'm saying, why are you playing zone against Patrick Mahomes right during the game? That's what I'm saying. Like everybody knows that Patrick Mahomes is a zone killer. Everybody knows that you don't play
good quarterbacks for zone killers, and he's a good quarterback.
Okay, but Patrick Mahomes is the best zone killer. Like he's the best
quarterback.
This is proving my theory wrong that you could just get an elite defense with Mahomes. I thought they'd get beat against Buffalo, and I actually thought they'd lose this game, but I was more worried about this one. But
so it's not. This was so
Belichick-y the way the Chiefs won this one. To me,
you got to go with your gut. You got to go with your gut. Sometimes your gut tells you that conventional football wisdom is not right in this particular case, and you just have to go with your gut. Dan Campbell went with his gut, and his gut was wrong, and sometimes that happens. But to me,
I think his gut got him there. You know what I mean? Like the reason that they're in this game is because Dan Campbell got him there.
I don't disagree. That's what got him there. But put it this way: what got them to the dance was that. But what got you to the dance isn't necessarily going to get you dancing with the prettiest girl. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you got to change up your strategy a little bit.
Janine, I sent you a message on Facebook if you want to hop on. Join us, Janine.
I also just want to say this.
Hey, JB.
Hey, JB.
People are like absolutely slurping. People are absolutely slurping Brock Purdy right now. And I just got to tell you, if Brock Purdy played for the Titans, he'd be like the 18th best quarterback in the NFL, dude. I'm just being honest.
I'm going to disagree with one thing. I like that he has legs. He's not like a Garoppolo where he can actually move, and his runs were super timely, and he does play poised when he needs to. So I do like those elements. I would not put him in my top 10, though. But, I mean, look at his stats this year. He was pretty ridiculous. But, I mean, he's got a great supporting cast, but I still like the fact that he made plays when he needs to. I like quarterbacks that can do that, even despite the supporting cast and coaching.
His runs were great. They were clutch, dude.
The runs were huge. They were difference-making.
He was completely missing in action the entire first half.
NFL outdated. Thanks for joining, man.
Anytime you pressure him, as soon as you get pressure on him, he starts making mistakes, throwing picks. Like, look at the Ravens game, dude. Like, I just, to me, this is, and you know what? You're free to disagree, but to me, Brock Purdy isn't really anything special, dude. I don't put him in the top 5. I don't think he has elite. Like,
I got a question.
We got another person on with us.
Janae.
I didn't plan on it being 5, but hey, Janae, how are you doing?
Hey.
I want to hear the rest of his thought really quick, and then we're gonna let you go. Okay.
Okay, no problem.
Brock Purdy is not anything special, dude. Brock Purdy, like I said, if he played for the Titans or the Arizona Cardinals, he would be like the 18th best quarterback in the league. Like he doesn't suck. I'm not saying he sucks, but he's just not. Like, look at his supporting cast, dude. Look at his supporting cast. Hey, you could throw. My gosh, man.
NFL Updated made I gotta address that before Janae goes. That Jordan Love thing.
Dude, you could put,
he just was trying to trigger me.
You could put Jake Locker on that Niners team, and he would be an MVP candidate.
Well, here's the difference, though. Like, we had a Garoppolo in there, and you're seeing a guy that is clear. I get that the supporting cast is better than what Garoppolo dealt with, but not anybody could sit back there and do this. Like, he does. Yeah, I did love that NFL. Thanks. That was funny. The Jordan Love thing. That was just, I like the little poke. You're just like, I gotta poke. But Garoppolo, you saw the ceiling, even if he had the same cast, and it's because Purdy is just a little bit better.
Yeah,
so where was Garoppolo
he has more arm talent than Garoppolo.
He's that more accurate.
He has some good accuracy. Like, I'm not.
He's got legs too, underrated legs.
When I say if he was on the Titans, he'd be the 18th best quarterback. Understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying he sucks. I'm saying he has some skills that are useful, but I don't see anything really elite in him. I see a team around him that is just an absolute juggernaut, and everybody is contributing, dude. You have Debo, you have McCaffrey, you have Ayuk catching freaking helmet balls. You have, like, there's just so much
NFL data comment here
on that team, dude. Like, I disagree that Purdy has that big game edge. That Ravens game was a big game, and he absolutely screwed the pooch in that game, dude.
Yeah, but he hasn't had a lot of big games to actually play. In all the playoff games he's actually gotten to start and finished, he's won all of them.
Dude's in the Super Bowl.
Has he won?
I gotta disagree to an element. Like, I don't think Purdy's. We're gonna do our quarterback rankings. He's not in my top 5, but the dude's got something.
He's not in my top.
I'm gonna do my ranking. He's kind of like on that fringe, on the end of the top 10. So sounds like you're talking about an early Brady. Ooh, it's interesting. All right, Janae, you had a lot.
What? Whoa, what? Purdy? Comment off the screen. Who's this guy?
Pete,
get that out of here.
Pete, that's the line then. So
that's the line. Purdy?
He's just like Jordan Love comment. He's
the only common denominator.
He's a Bears fan, so he won't make a Justin Fields comment. But he's like Jordan Love.
Is that the line then? So we can absolutely all sit here and gargle Brock Purdy, but the second that he gets compared to Brady, like, that's the line, right? Like, that's where we draw the line. Like, because people
are you not in a full agreement? How are you saying that sarcastically? That should be said seriously. Yes, we can talk about Purdy being good because he's in the Super Bowl, but we can't compare him to Brady. What you said is a serious statement.
Super Bowl. Jimmy Garoppolo went to the Super Bowl.
Show, that's for sure.
Man,
Jimmy Garoppolo went to the Super Bowl with damn near the same team without McCaffrey. Is Jimmy Garoppolo a good quarterback? He went to the Super Bowl against the very same team.
Good. I just like that
we gotta let Janae get a word in, and then we can finish this. But she's been waiting.
I didn't mean to take your spot, Janae. I just saw that Brady comment went off. Floor's yours.
Janae, after
I feel you, because that was all lies in the pits of hell in the fourth circle. I don't believe none of that. Okay.
Nope.
Okay, sorry. Hey, Janae, really quick. I'm a teacher. I've got students. We just got to keep it PG. That's all. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Gotcha.
You're good. Sorry, I didn't say that before. That's my bad. You're good.
It's okay.
It's not like Frozen Tundra. I'm sorry.
Gotcha. For me, as far as like Purdy goes, I have to agree. It's the weapons around him that make him look good.
Yeah.
Right, NFL David's cracking me up, man. We got to get him on here.
Yeah.
It's the weapons that he has. If you have weapons like that, you can take an average quarterback at best and he'll still be good.
Okay, but that's my argument with Garoppolo. Garoppolo, to me, like, could play a little clutch, but there were so many
for
limitations
sure.
with him, and I still think there are
And he has a
limitations
run
with
game
Purdy.
too.
But it's not just that Purdy has some wheels and Garoppolo didn't. To me, there's a difference in their passing ability too. So like, I think Purdy's a little
more
at least
accurate.
you gotta see he's a little bit above average, even with these targets. Like, it's not fair that his targets are so awesome and everyone's crapping on him, because if he hadn't been a 7th round pick, he probably would have been, outside that Baltimore game, the lead MVP candidate, and then he had one bad game. Because those other 3 they lost, he actually didn't play that bad enough.
True that.
In a perfect situation like Baker Mayfield did with the Bucks. I mean, the team just fits them. And I do have a question for the whole panel. Janae, are you got anything else?
You can hop on, stay on as long as you want. Just
honestly, both games I was disappointed.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Which teams?
Okay, with the Ravens and the Chiefs, I was disappointed.
Okay.
I was disappointed in Lamar Jackson, because it's like, look what you did to get where you were. You had an opportunity. You had a chance. You had a chance to take care of business. Okay? So it's like, why didn't you take care of business like you did before?
Right.
Like, come on, bro.
What we're seeing is Lamar's just got so many limitations on his game. And when you've got an elite defensive coordinator that can just stack the deck against him, they can't figure it out. And as good of a coach as Harbaugh is, he wasn't able to figure this out.
You had everything you need.
I know. To me, I think Baltimore was. Baltimore was a far. They were the superior talented team overall, and KC ran laps around them coaching wise, and it was the difference.
Well, not really.
Baltimore's got more talent.
What killed Baltimore was them penalties and people not keeping their tempers and their attitudes in check.
I agree. Rex Ryan went off on with all drop back calls. Agreed.
Penalties. And then I hope that they do better at hiring these referees, because the officiating this season was trash and a joke. I ain't never seen so many missed penalties and missed calls in my existence.
I have a question.
Just wait.
I agree with you. Like, there was a bad season, but did you think they were bad in that game? Because, like, I thought they were just boneheaded plays. Like, if you hit Mahomes in the head, they're going to call it.
But that's just my thing is, like, anytime somebody touched Patricia, there's a flag. Anytime you breathe on Patricia, it's a flag. No other quarterback gets that treatment. Case in point, when we played Dallas, okay?
He was sliding on a play, and the Ravens hit him pretty hard, and he looked up for a flag and didn't get one.
Man,
he didn't get one on that play. I think they let him play. I think they let the boys play.
Sorry, I'm talking.
Sir, I'm gonna need you to calm down with the Lambeau call, sir, because we get more penalties at home than any other team. Stop it. Besides Dallas, stop it.
It wasn't the flags that lost us the game against San Fran. What it was
the pick.
Offense.
We dropped a lot. We dropped 3 Purdy picks that burned us in that game. I wasn't going to go a bunch of Packers, but we dropped a bunch of picks. Love's last pass was bad, and we need to get better on defense because we weren't able to stop them when we needed to.
Listen, sometimes defense can't stop an old lady in a wheelchair with gout.
Ooh.
And they played a great game, but like, I want to see our run defense get better so when we need them, we can rely on it. And we just didn't have it this year.
Dang runs. Stop the runs. That is key.
Yeah.
If we can figure out how to stop the runs, okay, and score consistently both sides of the ball, we can take care of business. Yep. It's not that hard.
Ravens had the best rush defense, or the Patriots had the best rush defense in the league, and you don't want to be them. So you gotta do more than just stop the rush,
they need prayer, because I don't know what's going on over there.
Depending on what the Patriots do at quarterback this year, I might want to be the Patriots, because I don't think they're that far off, man. I mean, they need.
I said for weeks we are one quarterback away from a playoff appearance.
I like her. She's bringing the heat.
Give me a quarterback.
Thank you.
Too.
He's funny. We're gonna have him on soon. I wish he could hop on now.
You're right, but give me the quarterback first.
Yeah, give you the.
Okay, wait. I got a couple last things on this Lions game, really quick.
Jaden Daniels, that changes your whole thing.
How shocked were y'all that they came out the way they did? Because to me, it wasn't just that they were winning; it's that they were running at the 49ers front, and that was impressive.
That part was shocking.
I'm not shocked because we did it.
Run the ball on the Niners like that was shocking. I thought that they were going to try to throw the ball because, in my opinion, the if you want to call it a
defense weaker.
Exactly.
The Packers actually didn't run the ball all that great. They just had that long run in the fourth.
But secondary is the weakness on that defense, but that defense is just it's stacked, dude. Like that's why I use the term weakness kind of loosely because you know they're not really weak anywhere. But if you're going to attack them somewhere, you got to attack them through the air. But I was really impressed with the way that Detroit was able to run the ball on them. I thought that was their offensive line did a phenomenal job.
Joe, I think that their D is going to have to. They're going to have to play a little better on D against KC, or I think they're going to have some problems. Their defense hasn't been playing as great recently. Like, honestly, the Packers have some points on the table,
They're going to have problems with Kansas City no matter what. Because, number one, it's Patrick Mahomes. He's going to make plays, dude. He's going to have 250 yards minimum. He's going to throw a couple of touchdowns. Number two.
I'm happy you know this as an opposing fan in the division.
Because Patrick Mahomes is basically – well, there's kids watching. Patrick Mahomes
is the best quarterback in the league. We all know it.
He's beat us a lot of times. Number two, every single possible call that can be made against the 49ers is going to be made. Trust me when I say that. The refs are going to be absolutely microscoping the 49ers defense for any
they're going to be throwing flags like candy. Facts.
Well, if they can help themselves and not play the way Baltimore did and moronic, then they'll give themselves a better chance.
They can beat them.
They'll give themselves a
the
better
way the
chance.
Ravens defense played and made it easy on the refs to throw some flags that shouldn't have happened.
You're right. But
me and Med, I can't remember if I was talking this with Med. They played like the team that hadn't been there yet. The Packers did a little bit too, but the Ravens more so played like the team that wasn't ready and hadn't been there. And the Chiefs played composed.
Hey, Isaac, you're going to watch the Super Bowl, right? Everybody here is going to watch the Super Bowl, right?
No, I'm going to skip it. I'm just kidding. Yeah, of course.
I thought about it, honestly, because I don't like the Niners or the Chiefs.
No, I'm not a huge fan of either team. I really was pulling Lions hard.
But
I'm going to be honest, I was pulling Lions.
Hey, so here's what I challenge you to do. Every time the Chiefs are on offense during the Super Bowl, I want you to watch what side Nick Bosa is on and watch him. Watch every single play. They're going to hold that dude the entire game, and there will not be a single holding call against Bosa.
Oh, you mean like I've heard Cowboy fans cry that Micah Parsons gets every day, every game? Which, I mean, he does get wrecked, actually, like if you watch it.
As a football coach, I will let you know that there is holding on every play.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. The holding calls that they miss is ridiculous.
How to hold discreetly, okay?
Yeah.
And then sometimes it's so obvious they don't try to hide it. Ray Charles can see it.
You got to keep your hands inside the numbers. That's how you hold legally, or that's how you hold discreetly. You keep your hands inside the numbers. I was an offensive lineman too in high school.
Oh, you were?
Okay.
I got one last closing thought on this Lions game really quick because we've got a lot more we want to do.
After this,
Med's got a 6-pack. Really quick thought on this Lions game. Where do they go from here? What do they do? What do y'all think? I want everybody to get some in on this.
Down.
You think the arrow's pointing down? Okay. Pete, what do you think?
Well, no, I think their arrow is pointing down only because it's like you were talking about Lamar and the Ravens. You said this year was their shot, right? Because they had the window. Now you got Burrow coming back. You got you got Stroud coming on. Like the AFC is getting stronger. Well, with the Lions,
Packers are going to be probably better.
The Packers are going to be winning that division now. Like, so this is their year, dude. Like, they had the shot and they didn't make the most of it because I don't see them being able to take the division from the Packers next year. I don't.
Pete,
better recognize.
I like
better
that.
Recognize.
Pete, go ahead, bud.
Joe, you're my favorite right now. I'm just kidding.
Come back even.
Pete, what do you think?
They're gonna come back even better. They drafted these rookies that they highlighted even over and over and over again, and now they have a whole year of experience and playoff experience under their belt. We knocked the Ravens for losing because of inexperience. You know what happens when you play in the
this
playoffs?
statement right here, NFL data, it's never allowed on the show. NFL
you
data is
bugging.
never allowed on this show.
Sir,
Hey,
I'm gonna need you to relax,
Hold on.
sir.
Did you even hear the whole thing, or did you get
No,
the
I'm
first
sorry.
half?
I missed what you said.
Hold
I
on,
blacked
hold
out when I
on.
saw NFL David's comment. I blacked out. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
sorry,
why
go
I
again.
said, sir,
Yeah,
sir,
she's
you
not
need to
talking to me.
calm
She's
down
talking
because you
about
got that
NFL
backwards,
outdated.
baby. It's
Answer the
Packers.
questions over and then press comments, okay?
You're
Ooh,
right.
child.
I saw it and I couldn't stop staring at it.
Yeah,
Okay, sorry,
you
Pete.
see
I'm
my
Sorry.
face.
I-
I'm so
I'm
sorry.
Excuse me.
I just
wanna
blacked out,
does-
man. I
want to
couldn't.
know, does Pete think that the Lions are going to take the division from the Packers? That's what I want to know.
Ooh.
I was halfway there, buddy. Yeah, here's the other half. The other
I'm so
half of the
sorry.
thought.
It was like your
right?
Tom Brady thing. I just couldn't let it
Let me have
fly.
part two. Let me have part
Give him
two.
his
Part
minute.
two of the thought. Let a man speak.
Get him,
Part
Pete.
two of the thought is that if we're gonna knock people for being inexperienced, we have to give them credit for gaining experience.
That's
you
true.
knock the Ravens for being experienced, well, they just gained experience.
Yes,
Zay
they did.
Flowers just had a 100-yard playoff game and he made boneheaded moves. Do you think he's ever gonna make that boneheaded move again in his life?
Nah.
Never. That man learned a lesson. He's better next year for this. Next year, the
Don't you touch
Lions,
that
these
button.
4 rookies that they're talking about, they all just gained experience, and they brought back the OC. They didn't lose the OC.
Isaac,
There's
are
something
you
to
trying
be
to give me
said
a
for
heart
Dan
attack?
Campbell and keeping your staff around you, building on rookie success. Who are they going to draft this year? What if they draft? They go and they have a round 2 of success in the draft. I'm just saying, these are some young teams with some young players that we knocked for inexperience. And let's just say Lamar too. Lamar had as many playoff games as Pat Mahomes had divisional or the conference round playoff games, right? So we're just talking different bounds. Underdog as an 8-0 as an underdog. Now he's 9-0. Mahomes is another underdog in the playoffs. Are you kidding me? I mean, there's just better teams that beat lesser teams, and I don't think that any of these teams are bad or that they need to make revolutions on their team. They're great teams. They almost made it to the Super Bowl. I think that the Lions come back better. The Ravens come back better. Do I think they advance further or get to the Super Bowl next year or win there's a lot to be said, but I think their team improves for sure. It's just what are the other teams?
It'll be a dogfight between. I think if
they
Green
take
Bay
the division from
progresses.
the Packers?
Well, what do the
I
Packers do? I think the Lions come back better.
I think it'll be between Green Bay and Detroit. I'm not going to just sit here and think I hope the Packers improve, but we got to figure out who their defensive coordinator is, and their offense progress, but they may start slow again next year. And the Lions did just land 4 studs in the draft. A lot of it's going to come out of the draft and free agency. I think we have the best quarterback in the division, but he's going to have to take another step. We don't know. I'd like the Packers' chances to get better too, but I'm not gonna a lot of Packers fans are poo-poo on the Lions, man. They just almost made the Super Bowl. They're gonna be legit.
I get being a homer.
That's gotta go.
No, Janae, you get the next floor. I'll take it next, and then I got a question for the whole panel.
Sure. First of all, I'm gonna need homie to relax because when Green Bay, everybody knows that we like to run things. You know what I'm saying? We've been running the North for a long, long time now. Better recognize. Number 1. Number 2, do I see the Lions getting better? Yeah. They're a bunch of young guys. They're hungry and they're thirsty, just like the Packers. They're a bunch of young guys. They're thirsty and they're hungry. Okay. Jordan Love got his taste of playoffs. Sometimes all you need is a taste, and you hooked.
When you get that sugar girl.
That's right.
Love it.
So
we got to remember Jordan Love won his first playoff game and almost won his second one. That's pretty sweet.
We almost went to
He's
Super
won
Bowl.
more playoff games than Justin Herbert has, so I'm just
Jordan,
going to throw that in there.
Love is
So-
now
Justin Herbert comment.
He's like,
Right. So
it's calling.
what I will
Justin
say
Herbert's
is,
going to show up at my door pissed.
what I will say is this: if we keep progressing and we get a new defensive coordinator in there that knows what he's doing, if defense comes together, okay, if offense keeps staying in rhythm like they've been doing, we will be nasty. We will take the North. We will take it. But it just depends on how bad Green Bay wants it. Because I'm not going to sit here and knock the Lions. Because this a whole different group. You know, like I said, they're younger and they're hungrier guys. So I think it'll be a dogfight, like you said, between Green Bay and Detroit. I think that's what it's going to come down to.
The Bears
Keeping it
actually
real.
could be a sneaky playoff team if they do the right thing in the draft because they've got some serious draft capital. But we're going to
Okay,
find
I'm
out
a
what they do
natural
with quarterback.
blonde.
They're a notch below, but they've got some
we're really
serious
close.
capital. That number one pick, if they're smart with it, they could. I don't know if it'll be this year, but it's going to pay dividends for them if they make the right decision.
I could see that.
Minnesota is in a world of hurt. I don't know what they're going to do with Kirk Cousins. They're in trouble.
Falling to pieces like Patsy Cline.
Yeah, it's going to be like, I think they're going to be like significantly below everybody else. Like, I think you're going to have two teams winning 10
So is he
plus
going
games.
to Atlanta? Because that's the rumor.
We don't. Right now, it is
rumors.
the rumor, but I've also heard New England and I've heard a few other teams. But just to really touch up on this question, I agree with the better coaching, but really it was 3 turnovers that really kept us from being 10-7. Fields, to me, I'm 50-50 on Fields. And the fact that he turns over the ball after he makes a great play really irks me a little bit. So we'll see what we do in the draft as far as that goes. Now, as far as the Lions going great and everything, I think the biggest question is what are they going to do with Jared Goff? Is he really that $50 million, $60 million guy?
He's got 1 year left, right? One more year.
That money into him. You got an okay defense. You got a great front seven, but you got a weak defensive backfield. And, when you, like I said, it really just depends. That offense is amazing. I mean, that's going to be a really tough offense to really compete against on a weekly basis. But that defense is going to be a liability sometimes. They're going to have to actually find someone that can actually line up on the opposite side of Aiden Hutchinson. They already got a good linebacker and Jack Campbell that some people are considering the next Brian Urlacher. But
I like Branch though, man. He looks like he might be a stay in that secondary. They might have gotten one guy.
I said that about Campbell when he was at Iowa. I said that dude's going to be the next Brian Urlacher.
Yeah,
I wanted him for the Raiders really bad, but the Lions took him in the first round, and I was like, oh.
I do think Branch might be a mainstay, and they've got Gardner Johnson, but I mean,
I also like Richard.
He lost him that game because Debo was ticked. That was one of the reasons why. But all right, Matt, what's your question for everybody?
All right, so whenever these two, when Purdy and Mahomes actually go into this game, it's like a two-parter. It's all about legacy at this point. A lot of people are already considering Mahomes in the top 10 quarterbacks. I don't really see him there yet. But if he was to actually win the Super Bowl, would he be considered even top 5 at that point? And as far as all time. Because think about it, he's already been to the Super Bowl 3 times in 6 years. Will be his 4th.
Yes, he would. Yes, he would with 3 rings. Yeah, absolutely. Even if he loses this, I think he's top 5 all time. Yeah. Who else is above him? I mean, Brady. Who else definitively is above him at this point? Not Rodgers.
I think he's top 5 all time right now.
Yeah, I agree. Seriously, let's just do it.
Who's better
above him? We can all agree Tom Brady. Is Montana still above him?
He's better than Peyton Manning. He's better than, who's your
Aaron Rodgers? He's better than Rodgers. He's better than Favre. Like, I love Favre, but he's probably already better than Favre. He's already won 2 rings.
Yeah, no, he's past
Favre is not in the top 5 though.
No,
Favre ain't even top 10.
I might.
I would put him in my top 10.
I might put him in the top 10.
But I would put
Rodgers over
Favre though. I would put Rodgers over Favre.
Yeah, you.
I would put Favre in the top 5. Or I'd put him near the top. I mean, the top 10. I got to look at all of them.
Please.
Okay.
Top 10, maybe we could talk, but not top 5. We're talking top 5, right? That was the question.
Okay. So I've got. So I think Brady and Montana are still above. Even though I actually think Mahomes might be better than Montana, but he needs to win this one to start getting them with the Montana discussion. This kind of reminds me of LeBron, and this reminds me of LeBron in the NBA. And me and Matt have talked about talking some NBA a little bit. I've thought about an NBA show, but I'm going to toss an NBA analogy in. LeBron to me is second best all time, and the argument is with Kareem or maybe Magic, but it's clearly MJ. But LeBron, he's way older. He's 39, but he's already clearly top 5 and probably top 2 all time. Looking at a quarterback list, who is above Mahomes other than Tom Brady definitively? And I can't say anybody.
No, nobody.
I think he's already 2, dude. He's better than Peyton. He's better than Unitas. I'm looking at a list, like literally just off the internet, like because I could think of quarterbacks, but it just helps to see it. And they have Rodgers in the top 10. Like, I
He
loved
deserves
Elway, but he's better than Elway. He's better than Staubach, who was awesome for the Cowboys. He's
Yeah.
better than Dan Marino.
Mhm.
He's better than Drew Brees, who I don't think should be that high on this stupid list. Otto Graham, Johnny Unitas. He's better than all these guys. He's better than Peyton, too. To me, though, seriously, Favre creeps in the bottom of the top 10 if we made a list.
John Elway went to 5 championships, and he took 3 of those teams that had scrub running backs. Like, the whole team was scrubs on the offensive side.
Yeah, Elway's great, man.
You got a point there.
Elway might actually, like, as good as Favre was, I think Elway is better. And I'll just be honest.
And Elway, if you want to throw another basketball analogy, remember when LeBron took that scrub team to place San Antonio Spurs? Elway did that with the Broncos. They had
how dare you besmirch Marino? Well, sorry, he didn't win a Super Bowl, so he doesn't get the top 3 or 4 or 5. I don't think.
Marino,
even though he's great, he just doesn't. Figure it out once, man. One time, get one. Freaking Aaron Rodgers got one. Just get one.
If we're talking pure skill, Marino is top 5, dude.
Yeah,
Marino
but he's not, because he didn't come through in the playoffs. I agree with you with skill, but it's like Peyton. He was one of the best passers ever, but you got to come through in the playoffs one freaking time. I don't want to hear defense, just like with this Justin Herbert crap. I don't care how good Justin Herbert is as a thrower. Win some playoff games. Win some.
But winning playoff games.
I've got heat for all the Charger fans. I don't care. This dude is not top 5. CJ Stroud has a better potential right now, and I can give you 4 others.
Isaac, say that.
Oh, I've got so much to say on the Herbert thing.
We will when we get to that segment.
Yeah, but anyways, on this one, okay. So who's y'all? So everybody got Brady 1, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, who's y'all's 2? Let's just do it. Round table.
5. We're talking.
We'll go 5. Right? Okay.
So who's 2 for everybody? For me, it's Mahomes.
Montana.
Okay.
Peyton Manning.
I actually think Peyton Manning too. He's been to 4 Super Bowls already.
Janae?
Manning.
I've got Mahomes. Okay, who's everybody's 3?
Mahomes.
Montana.
I'm gonna go Montana. This is tough. I just like the way Montana came through in the playoffs where Peyton frequently didn't. The second ring was all defense, so I'm gonna go Montana here.
Montana.
For 3. Okay, everybody's 4.
John Elway.
Elway.
Yeah.
Far from me.
Or actually, I'm going to go Peyton Manning.
I'm going to go Peyton on this one, and I'm going to go Elway on my 5th. Who's y'all got on 5?
Mahomes.
Cool. So you already made your 5th. That's awesome.
Yeah,
well, I
I'd
mean,
put Mahomes.
you look at the titles and everything.
Mahomes.
There's a couple that have 4. So,
Janae, thanks for joining us. We got a lot more. This has been fun.
You're welcome.
Okay, what's next, y'all? Anybody have any topics? I want to do the Justin Herbert thing, but we'll do that last. We're going to do a draft of our quarterbacks in the league, but we're going to do that last. So, Med, did you have some stuff for Pete?
I do.
Awesome. Anybody else have any other stuff they want to throw out? I think we should do a Super Bowl little sneak preview, too, before we do it.
Do you guys think Jim can turn around the Chargers the way that he turned around the Wolverines program?
Ooh,
I'll go first. I will say yes, because really and truthfully, the only thing that Brandon Staley did was just really legitimately limit that defense. I mean, the defensive players are there. You got Khalil Mack, you got Joey Bosa, you got Derwin James, you got Ashanti Samuel. You got some good key pieces, and really and truthfully, that defense was the only thing.
That's what I was saying on Twitter. I was saying they had playmakers.
Med, not anymore, because they're $40 million over the cap as we speak.
That is true.
So they're going to lose some of those guys.
Ooh.
Well,
hey, what deal did Herbert sign, guys?
From what I've read,
I want to get to the Herbert stuff later, but how big of a deal did he sign?
Hold on one second. It was a huge deal. Hold on. What did you say, Joe?
From what I've read, Bosa and Mack are gone minimum, and they're also looking at Keenan Allen might be gone.
They're gonna have to figure out Mack, man. You can't let him go. He just got 17 sacks. Or
yeah,
Bosa.
like he was good for Khalil was good for Chicago.
He's also
they're gonna have to figure that out. That's not good.
Injury history.
Yeah, but Harbaugh wouldn't have taken this on if he didn't think he could righten this ship in 2 to 3 years.
Well, he's got a top 5 quarterback.
What is he, your 5th?
No.
Is he 3rd?
I said that for all the Charger fans out there.
Yeah, I know you did. All right. What do you think, Pete? You think Harbaugh's going to turn around?
Who knows? There's so many dominoes to fall with the Chargers. It's so hard to tell. I mean, anything can happen. The free agency, the draft. It's so hard to give you an outlook on what a 2024 team is going to actually do in the NFL when we don't even know who's on the team yet.
I got to look at their salary cap situation too. I'm going to look at it right now.
Yeah, I mean, Mac and all of them. So sometimes when you get a new coach, right, they like to design their roster. And if you have a guy like Mac with so much cap hit, 38 million, I think, or something like that. They're 8
mil over. They're 8.1 over the cap right now.
Well, like the good thing to do is trade a guy in his last year of his contract for vet and then get a return on your investment and use that capital that you get back to start molding the team the way you want if you're actually taking over a new team. So, I would like to see what they do first before I start telling you they might take a step back to take 2 steps forward.
Yeah. Not Pete. Joe, what do you think?
I agree with Pete that they're going to take a step back to take 2 steps forward, but I think they're going to lose a lot of talent. I think they're more than 8 million over the cap because I read somewhere that by the time the league year starts, they're going to be like 40 million over the cap.
I'll keep checking. That's just what I saw on the internet just now.
Over last year.
Yeah, so Mac has a $38 million cap hit, and Bosa has a 38 and a half and 36.6. So between the two of them, it's like 75 mil. And then Keenan Allen's at like 35 mil, and Mike Williams, who's hurt every 2 seconds, is at 32 mil. So
their top 4 players are 50% of their cap hit.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous, their cap situation. It's so bad. It makes the Packers situation look so good.
It really does.
But the cap is also fake. So anybody that knows how to play with the cap can go in there and restructure contracts and give it as incentives and bonuses, and this will be fixed. I never like to buy the argument that the cap is the issue with the team because the cap is just not real, ladies and gentlemen.
Pretty much.
They can get rid of those.
Do the Saints thing.
They can get rid of those players. So Mac, Bosa, Keenan Allen, and Mike Williams. They could lose all 4 of those players, and I think they would be a better team for it. You know
what's funny is Justin Herbert's only at 19 mil on his cap hit. I'm looking at it right now on Spot Track.
Contract.
I think the Chargers need to reload with younger talent. I think they need to build out their defense. Get a young.
Not with Quentin Johnson at receiver. They need to get a different receiver.
Well, but they have a lot of needs, but they need to get they're going to have to lose. Bosa hasn't been healthy for a full season in who knows how long. Khalil Mack is on the decline. He had 8 or 9 sacks this year. 6 of them.
No, he had like 17.
No, Mack had 17 this year, dude. I think
he had 17.
Yes, Khalil Mack had 17 sacks this year, dude. He was their freaking stud on D.
See,
I'm 99% sure. I'm gonna double check it, but I know he's 30. He's gonna be 33. I get it, but this was not the time to let him go.
But to be fair, 6 of those sacks were in one game against us.
Yeah, but he had 17 sacks this season. He had 8 last year. That's not even terrible last year. No, and he had 5 fumbles this year.
Okay,
he's
but look,
stud, man. I would, if the Packers wanted him, I'd be like, take him now. Heartbeat.
17 sacks, right?
Pick him up. Patriots would be happy to have him.
He had 6 of them in one game against
Bears will love him back.
So, go.
Does that not count?
11 sacks over the rest of the season.
Counts, man. He had 2 down seasons before that, 8 sacks. But he had 7 games the year before that. So, this was the dude's career season. It's his career year, dude.
I didn't know that he had 17. I thought because the last time I actually watched the Charger game, he had 9 or 10. He had 8 or 9.
Freaking awesome. He had 10 passes defensed. He broke records personally. He almost tied for his. I'm looking right now for 4.
So your point is that he should be traded, right?
My
the perfect time to trade him.
Well, that would be smart. I think
value has never been higher on a player. Trade him in his contract year.
If they're willing to let him go.
But
Janae, what are your thoughts on this?
Who's going to take on that cap number, though? That's
on Khalil Mack or
on Khalil Mack.
Jim?
Who's going to take on 30?
No, Jim Harbaugh. The question was, do you think Harbaugh can turn around the Chargers?
I absolutely.
Of course. Look what he did with the Michigan program.
I say yes too.
Because he's that coach. I'm a huge Wolverines fan.
Me too. From Michigan.
And Whoever gets Blake Corum, they're lucky. Whoever gets JJ McCarthy, they're lucky.
Yeah.
Did he declare? Hey, really quick on McCarthy. Did he come out for the draft?
I was with you until that one. McCarthy, I think, is like a 3rd round pick at best.
Watch your mouth.
He's a project. I'm being real.
It's gonna be hilarious if Harbaugh's like, I'm gonna trade Herbert out for McCarthy.
For McCarthy, I can see that happening.
He wouldn't do it. He
would. He would.
That'd be a mistake. He'd better not.
That'd be like trading up for Tim Tebow.
Dude,
yeah.
Are you kidding me? Trade Justin Herbert for McCarthy?
I was playing, man. I just had to do it.
Yeah,
it's just
I'm like,
funny.
dude, come on. I know you don't like the guy, but let's just be real here. Like,
I don't like. The funny thing is, I do like him. He's just got a career losing record. 0-1 in the playoffs. He can't be top 5 with this many good quarterbacks in the league. He's just not.
Save it.
Okay. Restrain yourself, Isaac.
I just got an alert saying that supposedly Dallas might be trading Prescott.
No way. Let me check it out.
Hey, remember, Isaac,
Hold
how many
on,
weeks ago? And Pete, you were on the show too. What did I say? You remember the show? I said Dallas should trade Prescott.
They should trade him.
That was my hot take. I said I wouldn't be surprised if he's gone before the season starts.
Well,
I told my husband
that was a stupid decision. Sorry, this guy is not it. He does not have playoff success. When he came out and said that now with the Cowboys, when Jerry said that was just lying through his teeth.
Prescott is like a bad perm that didn't take in your head. It's just worthless. Worthless. It's just not. It's just like I don't know what's going on. Like it's just not a good fit. It's like Randy Watson singing good and terrible.
Joe had to go. You say he had to go? Okay.
Yeah. No, well, I guess.
It really is. It's like Randy Watson. You remember Randy Watson off of Coming to America? It's like his singing, good and terrible. It's a mess. Like you're over here yelling at your receivers when you're the one that's overthrowing the ball. Bro.
Dak
Wait, are we still talking about Dak Prescott, the guy who led the NFL?
I'm hoping the Cowboys keep him and keep McCarthy so I can enjoy this every January living here because it's comedy for me.
Right? That's right. You live in Dallas too. Me too.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I live in like near Midlothian, south.
Oh, I live in Red Oak, so yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know Red Oak. I work in Waxahachie. Anyways, what I'm hoping is that they extend Dak Prescott to like 60, 65 mil and give McCarthy a 5-year extension after this season. That's what I hope for Cowboys fans. Please do it. Please do it. I say that lovingly. That's what I want. Do it. All right, man. What else you got? You had a 6-pack, right?
More like a 4-pack, but I could go for it. And basically, it's grapefruits to Pete right now. And if anyone else,
I'm so sad that Joe isn't here to trigger him anymore. It's kind of sad.
Oh yeah.
I'll try to do my best Joe impersonation.
Well, if you keep talking bad about Dak, I mean, Pete might jump in. On that.
How can you guys get off talking bad about Dak? I mean, because he lost in the playoffs, and if you
lost in the playoffs,
he's mentally weak like the rest of that team. CD Lamb, boom, dropping the ball.
I feel like
the only guy that was playing that first half was Micah Parsons.
It's like I feel like winners fall off trees, and that there's like tons of people who are just wildly mentally tough, and everyone's got experience, and everyone's got tons of rings. And like, who are these people? These lofty expectations. Some people bring your team to the playoffs with MVP caliber stats, score like 40 points, throw for like 400 yards, and their defense just stinks so bad that they can't get into the next round.
But Pete, if you watch that game, it was just like Buffalo. He was a no-show for the whole first half, and he's lucky he didn't throw a third pick in the first half. And they got a touchdown with like 2 seconds left. The dude didn't show. I know his defense was trash, and I was really shocked by how bad Dan Quinn's plan was, but he also didn't show up. He didn't show up in the Buffalo game.
I'm just not going to say Lamar Jackson's bad. I'm just not going to say Lamar Jackson's bad and Dak Prescott is bad because they had bad game plans by their offensive coordinator.
No. They're not bad. They're just not, to me, the type of guy you're ever going to win deep in the
Take you to
playoffs
that
with.
next level.
They're levels to
I know
this.
we're doing a list later. I'm very interested to see who's on your list of players that do it. I mean, if Jordan Love is at the top, I'm going to question it immediately.
Oh yeah,
But
no,
other than
we
that,
gotta get
like
to it.
who's
No.
on this list of people who carry teams to the playoffs with like?
Okay, do you want me to give
like,
my can I give my top 5 really quick?
Who's
and
on
just
the
tease it?
list besides Patrick
All right, man,
Mahomes?
don't
Like,
let
who
me
else
wait.
does it consistently? Who are the people
Who
that
what?
do
That
this?
carries teams
You
to
wouldn't even
playoffs?
give Purdy his props.
Chief,
The
like
guy
I have to
actually
go with
brought his
Isaac
team
because
to the
Joe's
Super
out.
Bowl.
I got to do it. This is great, man. I'm having fun.
So
No, okay,
I will call home.
I got it for you. It's coming. It's coming.
I mean,
So-
he immediately threw Brett Favre's name out when we did top quarterbacks. The first, they had his knee-jerk reaction was like, "Oh, Brett
you
Favre."
notice that-
Oh,
Hold on.
please.
You notice I
on,
gave my
like, we're
top
trying to make
5.
a
and there
real
was
list.
no, hey. I gave my top 5 all-time quarterbacks. There's not a Packer on it, right?
You guys are asking me if the Lions are going to compete with the 9-8 Packers. Yeah, they are. They almost made it to the Super Bowl. Of course, they're going to compete with them. They're probably
You
going to smoke
almost
them again.
beat San Fran in the second round.
You almost doesn't get you anything in this league. Ask the Lions.
He's got you.
That's
He's got you. He got you on that one.
Ask Dallas.
I'm not
anybody who's
I'm not
not in the Super Bowl.
expecting. I'm going to say this. I'm not expecting Houston and Green Bay to suddenly be contenders next year. They've got a lot of work to do, but they're two teams that may, with the
contenders
young
right now.
quarterbacks, they may
contended
continue
right
to
now.
ascend.
If you're in the
Like,
playoffs,
look
you
at-
contended. You made the dance. You made the tournament. If you're in the playoffs, you contended. That is what. So that's why we're knocking all these quarterbacks that brought their teams to this great success.
Well, no.
They made it to the
It's just
tournament.
that Lamar and Dak have done this multiple years now. And if you look in NFL history, there's never been, well, Lamar's still in the window, so he's okay. But for Dak, there's never been a quarterback that didn't make a conference championship his first 7 years. And now Dak's had 8 that went on to win a Super Bowl. So I don't believe in Dak because history says it's not going to happen. If you watch this
Right.
dude, it ain't going to happen.
Right.
It's not going to happen.
I
Guaranteed.
think it's a
bet-
Dallas issue, if you ask me.
I think
don't
it
think
is
it's a
a Jerry
Dak.
Jones issue, but I think Dak is just a manifestation of Jerry Jones's problems. That's what I think.
I mean, if you put Dak on San
It's
Francisco,
Jerry.
he's going to walk away with a ring. I mean, it's
Well,
situational. Everything's situational.
I mean, yeah, Dak would win a ring in San Fran. I
All
can probably
Yeah,
agree with that.
Yeah,
Hopefully. If he didn't there, then there's a problem.
yeah. So it's not Dak then. You've just made the point.
Dak, though, Dak needed to show up in that first half against our weak I'm just going to be honest. Packers pass D had been.
Are we
not
repealing
that
this?
great.
We can't repeal it now. You said if Dak was on San Francisco, he'd probably win the Super Bowl. So it's not really about Dak. It's about his situation. You said it. We have it. It's recorded,
didn't.
right?
It is recorded.
I'm gonna download it.
Sadly, it's recorded.
I'll cut it and send it back to you. What you just said. You said Dak would win a Super Bowl in
126-45.
San Fran. It's not.
I mean-
it can't be about Dak then.
I mean, the
Fine,
Saints-
we
fine.
can't-
Like my
To bring back the quarterback and the coach that continuously are failing is
You-
on Jerry. It's on Jerry. I've said this in my take, man. You can go watch me on Twitter. I said I hope they bring these two back because it's Jerry. Jerry's the problem. They're just underneath that. Jerry's the issue. They ain't going to win a Super Bowl when he's in charge because he won't hire a real GM, and they can't fill in all the gaps on defense, and they want to do this star thing, and they don't know how to get other players on defense and on offense that can be difference makers, and they don't have a run game anymore. So they've got all these problems that
didn't
are stemming
mention
from
Dak
Jerry
yet.
meddling his fingers in and everything. So you're right. It's not.
And then you do
He's just
have
one
Dak
of the
with his
issues.
with his inconsistency. He's not
Is
consistent.
inconsistent. 9 interceptions all year.
Get 2 in that game and pick 6.
That's too many for a quarterback like you say of his caliber. That's too many.
9.
He's going to play my
Nine.
own show back to me. That's great, people. Love it.
He's going to send it to you on a direct
He's
message.
going to be like, Bud, you said it at 120 right
Listen to
there.
I looked at the minute marker too. I'm like, I'll write it down.
Why?
I'll make
Okay.
notes.
Hey, but I
Why
did
is
say
it
this.
the
I'm going to
same
send you
issue?
my short that got blown up on Twitter
Why is it the
about
same
Jerry.
issue?
And I was all on Jerry. And I said, I hope that for Cowboys fans' sake, he doesn't. And then he went back and got McCarthy, and I knew the moron would because he can't help himself. He has to be right. So I didn't mean to go on a Cowboys tangent. I had to.
All right, so I'm going to pull it away from a Cowboys podcast in a second. Janae, go ahead and hit what you had.
So my question is, okay, if Dak is not the problem, then why is Green Bay undefeated in his house? And it's always by a lot. Okay. And it's always the same issue. First half, he does not show up. Second half, he tries to be the comeback queen, and then it blows up in his face, and then it's too late.
Well,
It
it's not
happens
just on.
every single time we play them.
In
Every
fairness to
single time.
Dak, it's not just on him. He had a couple of good games in the playoffs
Defensively.
previously, but their
Outside Micah
defense has
Parsons,
never been able to stop the Packers in the playoffs since the 90s.
outside Micah Parsons and Diggs, there's really, I mean, Vander Esch is pretty decent.
It would have been a
But he was
different.
out.
Van Der
Vander Esch
Esch
was
was
out for the
really good.
season.
It
So
would
they
have been a
lost
different
Vander
game
Esch,
if
and then
Diggs and Van Der Esch was in. I agree.
so they had Bland this year getting pick sixes left and right, but he was
Mhm.
targetable.
For the record.
You could target him. You could. And then they had DeMarcus Lawrence. Hankins was out for this game,
Yep.
and they had Parsons. That's it.
Parsons.
They're saying that they don't know how Jerry doesn't know how to draft good enough. He's a solid GM, but to win a Super Bowl, Jerry's gonna have to overcome his ego, get a real GM to hire a real coach. Not saying McCarthy's not a real coach, but to get the right coach for this talent, and then they might actually be, winning Super Bowls. But Jerry's never gonna do that. It took him 30 years to get Jimmy Johnson in the Ring of Honor. It's not gonna happen.
All right.
It's not gonna happen.
So, Pete,
Not
last
3
week,
decades.
I promised you that we would talk Patriots.
Oh dear
You waited
Lord.
an hour and a half.
Real quick, do you want the spicy meatball first? You want the thing that you would probably consider blasphemy first, or do you want me to just go on down the list?
Blasphemy.
Let's tease the blasphemy till the end.
Yeah, let's get some spice going.
No, save that for the end. We want to tease that. That's last.
Okay.
You have to
All
hang out if you want the spicy meatball.
All right. So
Okay.
first question, and y'all could fill into if you know the Patriots free agent stuff. Is there a free agent or two right now that you hope the Patriots retain, like Hunter Henry or Kyle Duggar?
Michael Owenu.
Ezekiel Elliott.
Oh no, nope, not even top 5. Onwenu, he's the right tackle. We really have an offensive line issue, and if we don't retain either him or Trent Brown at tackle, we're in a real big world of hurt, because then we're gonna have to go to. It's expensive, right? But we have $90 million in cap space, so spend your money. Mayo said he's going to spend his money. The priority needs to be the offensive line free agency. But you mentioned Hunter Henry. You need to keep. You have 3 tight ends you're losing: Pharaoh Brown, Hunter Henry, Mike Gesicki. You need to retain. Yeah, I wouldn't mind him. Although put him on a milk carton last year. Like, where was he? I don't even know where he did he exist. I have no idea. It just felt like. What's that?
Is there an APB out for him?
Right. Mm-hmm. Yes, someone needs to go find Gesicki, right? So Hunter Henry was good, and he had a rapport with Zappi at the end of the year. So if you can get a rapport with that crappy level of quarterback, then I have faith that you're a pretty skilled tight end. But they need to keep one of them, because they can't rebuild the entire position in free agency or the draft. Keep one, and then go rebuild the other two spots, elsewhere. So I want one of them to keep. I love Pharaoh Brown. He was fighting the Jets in Week 18. If you watched him like I did, because I'm watching every single second, maybe twice of every Patriots game, he's fighting people. He's blocking people out of bounds.
I hope.
What's
not,
that?
for your sake.
Dude, Patriots fandom runs deep, man. I'll rewatch games if I miss something. But Pharaoh Brown's a beast. So tight end and O-line, those would be 2 good ones. That as far as like positions that they need to retain, Kyle Duggar is another one that people want to keep.
Would you actually go for a receiver
That was the one
like
I thought
Michael
too.
Pittman or Mike Evans? Because really and truthfully, the receivers that y'all have had, I'm going to be straight up with you, has been garbage.
Or T. Higgins. Or T. Higgins.
Smith, how do you feel on that?
Yeah, so we brought in Juju. We thought he was going to fix us. We brought Parker in. We thought he was going to fix us. Are we just doing this again? Let's bring in this guy. He'll fix us. And then they're just crap again. Maybe it's the quarterback, the lack of O-line, scheme, you name all the other issues. Maybe it's that, because when I saw good balls thrown to Devontae Parker, he caught them. When I saw good balls thrown to Juju Smith, they didn't drop the balls. They weren't, it's not like they were having trouble getting open. So as much as we'll crap on them, and they deserve it, they were not good. They fell off. We have a really nice receiver in Pop Douglas, a rookie. If we can resign Kendrick Bourne, who was on pace for 8 touchdowns, 80 catches, and 800 yards before he got injured, he would be great. You put Pop Douglas, Kendrick Bourne, and one other person along with a Hunter Henry, you're talking 4 pass catchers that can catch the ball. And that's, hoping that you have a running back that can catch the ball too. So you're talking 5 people that can catch the ball. That's good enough. That's as many as you can line up.
Basically, like
So
when
you
you
draft one over go for the one for free agency.
I want T. Higgins. That's who I want in free
Yeah,
agency.
that's
If I
the
was
one.
to pick
That's the
someone.
one I see for you guys. If the Packers, they don't do this in free agency, so they're not going to do it. So I would love him. I think he's awesome. He's going to help any team. He's just so freaking strong. Even when he's not open, he's going to catch the damn ball.
We need to be ready
to be number one on any team that doesn't have Jamar Chase or freaking Tyreek Hill.
We need to be ready for the wide receiver, though. If you don't have the quarterback in the O-line, you're not ready to start adding the wide receiver.
Right.
I agree with that. They've got a lot of rebuilding. The good thing for you guys is you guys are in a more desirable position than Washington, though, where you've at least got a defense to fall back on. And if Mayo is a decent enough coach, your defense should at minimum be solid, but they were at times dominant this year. So y'all get that right quarterback, whether it's in free agency or, we
have the running back.
I don't think it's free agency, but it's probably the draft. But you get that dude, it might not take that long. It's possible.
And
that's the difference maker. Draft. You give me Joe Flacco, like how the Browns got Joe Flacco, and the Patriots would have been like, even if Joe Flacco just got all 16 games for the Patriots this year and he did what he did this year, the Patriots would be in the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree with that. Even in a strong AFC, if you look at the AFC, me and my wife talked it on Fun Football Pod. I think the bottom 3 teams in the AFC might fall out. Like I don't think Pittsburgh in the wild card. I don't.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Not the division winners, but I just don't think. I think Houston's going to be on the come up, but I don't think Pittsburgh. Who are the other 2 in the wild card? I think Cleveland's going to have a world of problems. And who's the other wild card? I can't remember it. No,
Houston
wild card. No, not a division winner. The 5 through 7 seed. Hold on, I'll pull it up.
Wasn't it Pittsburgh?
It was Pittsburgh, it was Houston, and it was Miami. That's what it was. I think all 3 of them are going to have problems next year. I don't believe in Miami at all.
Well, if they have Tyreek playing, then they're fine.
Yeah.
Okay, I got to bring this up, and I wasn't planning on it this show, but I'm going to bring it up for a second. JB, who listens to all of our shows, he puts on an awesome show. He was talking. He sent me an article about Fangio, and I read it right before this. Med, Peach, and I don't know if you've if you've heard about this. It was from Sports Illustrated, and Fangio got scapegoated in Miami.
Yeah,
read
about it.
Did you get to read it? And he was trying to hold the players accountable. And Mike McDaniel's the fun coach. He's got a great offensive scheme. I love it, but I worry about Tua in big games. But then Fangio got scapegoated and wanted the players on defense to stop partying and try to hold them more accountable, and the players hated it, and there was friction there. So he became, there's a long story, but he became the scapegoat. And I just think that's kind of the culture in Miami right now, and I just don't. I love Tyreek Hill. He's one of the best players in the league, but
it's Miami.
I think they've got a ceiling.
You're right. If you keep that mentality up, you won't survive.
No, you won't.
Not in this league.
Matt, I got to know your spicy take, man. What is it?
It's coming, but because he kind of segue into this. Okay, so you're the GM, right? And me and you kind of touched up a little bit about this yesterday in direct messages. If there is a player that you love enough that you would trade up for the number 1 pick, would you go ahead and pull the trigger and do that? And would you go ahead and get like Caleb Williams as your quarterback or Jaden Daniels?
So I'm trading up for whoever you want is the right move, depending on what you think is happening in front of you. But I don't know if we know what's happening in front of us yet. Yeah. I don't think the Bears pick in the number 1 spot. The number 1 spot is 100% for sale, if you're asking me. So who jumps in front, who gets picked there affects who the Commanders might pick or might not pick. Who's their coach? What's their vision there? What are they doing? That needs to be decided before they get to even decide who they pick. Same thing for us. Like if the quarterback that you're in love with is Drake May and you think you can't get him at 3, then you need to draft. You need to go up and get the spot. You can't just pick who falls to you. You need to be in love with your top 3 pick. If you're just picking out of spite, trade down to 6 through 8. Move down because you can get a haul for going down 3 or 4 spots. And if you're not in love with the person, you can probably be not in love 3 picks later and have a haul. And as a new coach in Mayo, you might need a haul, to rebuild. I'm not in love with picking a player unless you are in love with the player.
Janae, what do you think? We've gotten you in a second. I'm sorry. What do you think? Do you think they did? To me, this is why I think the Bears should trade out, because I think that they have a lot of positions to fill, whether they go Fields or not. I'm curious Med's thoughts on this too. But I do really like the idea for the Bears because I think they've got a lot of positions of need. Whoever their quarterback is, they need to support him better or he's going to fail no matter who he is.
You took the words out of my mouth. I feel like whether it's Fields or someone else, he needs protection and he needs to be, they need to make sure that man has whatever he needs to do his job.
The same thing. And the Patriots are even a more dire situation on offense to me because at least the Bears have a receiver, like a legit number one receiver.
They do. But
the Patriots, they've got a lot of work. We didn't even get into Stevenson. Your thoughts on that, Pete?
I mean, Stevenson is gonna hopefully, with a healthy season next year, pick up right where he left off, which was running. The offense ran through him. You mentioned Zeke earlier, and I scoffed because as soon as the keys were given to Zeke, as soon as Stevenson went out, Zeke ran for like 2.5 yards a carry. I think I did the math.
It was like 2.9.
Sadly, he's what the Cowboys needed, but not. He's not that guy anymore.
As soon as Zeke,
because he used to be that dude.
Phased out. He's just too many carries.
He was that dude before he signed that contract. As soon as he signed that contract, he became Charmin soft.
He just every year yards per carry. I don't have the stats in front of me, but I've watched it. They just did this every single.
He was good with Stevenson.
Yeah.
When Stevenson was in the game, he did good because the other team thought when Zeke came in that they were running their pass package or like they weren't necessarily like stacking the box for Zeke. But as soon as you transitioned away from Mac into Zappy and then eventually forced to go away from Stevenson to Zeke with a very weak offensive line and not a lot of weapons on the pass catching side, it wasn't a circumstance that really boded too well for anybody. But the fact, what the matter was, Stevenson did have success in the same exact scenario. And then when the scenario, all that changed was let's insert Zeke where Stevenson was, it failed completely. So Zeke isn't the guy that I want back because if Stevenson goes down, we know what we're going to get, which is not a good running game.
Which is nothing.
Was it a 1 year deal on Zeke? Is he a free agent now?
He's
free agent.
Yep, it was a 1 year, $3 million.
You got to let him go. Hey, we've got a little bit more, but I just got to say this really quick. Janae, thanks for hopping on short notice. This has been a lot of fun.
No problem.
I appreciate it. This is cool. We do this every week, so it looks like it's Tuesdays, just so you know, for future reference. Yeah. We've got more. We're not done yet. I just want to let you know.
Oh, so why not?
And again, I just wanted to get it in before the end in case I forget because it's on my mind. Pete, thanks for doing 2 weeks in a row, man. If you want to join every week, we'd love to have you, man. Seriously. So we're going to be bringing, just so you all know, I want to tease this while we've got some viewers still. We've actually held viewers this whole time. It's been awesome. But we had 15 at one point, which is pretty cool. But we're going to be doing some mock draft stuff. We're very excited. And we're going to be bringing some mock draft experts on that do mock draft shows from Twitter. And I don't know if we're going to start this next week, but it's coming very soon. So
yeah. And also with the mock draft thing, Pete's going to be involved with it, but there's going to be 8, maybe 9 podcasters.
We've got
this mock draft.
We've got a whole plan where if we get 8, everybody's gonna have 4 teams, and we're gonna run through. I'm hoping we can get more than 2 rounds, but we're gonna do like a whole episode. Everybody gets like 3 minutes or whatever. We'll decide. We haven't decided yet. It could be 4, but they get a certain amount of time, and we're gonna run through a round, and then the next week do it again. And on my show on Fun Football Pod, I'll be bringing people on too. So I'm pretty excited.
So Pete, whom would you like the Patriots to pursue? No, this ain't it. Who would you like the Patriots to pursue for the offensive coordinator? Luke Getsy, who I hope you do not get because we had him last year. God knows. And so far, the only 2 other people I've heard was Clint Kubiak and Scott Turner, both passing.
Kubiak?
Yeah, Kubiak.
You know how to say Kubiak.
Would be a better
his
fit.
dad was the Broncos coach.
Clint Kubiak? No, it's his son. I think
that's what I mean. His dad was the Broncos coach,
but he was the passing coordinator. Was it for the Commanders?
You don't want Josh McDaniels back?
All right. So you started off your question with bringing up Getsy. Getsy's not even came in for an interview, but he wasn't a real interview. He's scouting. He was scouting because the Fields. Because we want to know what they're doing with Fields, and we want to know what they're doing with the number 1 pick. So
I got a real one. What about Wes?
Oh, you gotta let me get through my Getsy thought.
Right.
I have a Getsy thought here. You don't want to cut off my hot take. All right. So the first part of it is that it's a fake interview. The second, because they want to, you don't fire an offensive coordinator and then hire that guy as an offensive coordinator. He's not going to be an offensive coordinator again. So it's just like slapping him in the face. Yeah, we'll come in and interview you for offensive coordinator. Tell us all about Fields. It's just a joke, right? So Getsy is not even a real candidate. The real candidates that we're talking about are Nick Caley. That's the likely person. I think Kubiak is a possibility. Scott Turner is a possibility. But really, like who they're going with, I'll tell you, it's Nick Caley because they're familiar with them. He spent 1 year away from the Patriots. He was passed up to be the offensive coordinator when they went with the Patricia Judge clown show. A lot of people thought, and they interviewed him and they just didn't pick him. Nick Caley. He ended up serving his last year of his contract with the Patriots, and then he went over to the Rams. Now they're interviewing him again. So I just think that they're going to go, oh, we already interviewed you. We already made the mistake of letting you walk once. We're not going to let you walk twice. You got the McVay in you. Everyone likes the McVay coaching tree. So I guess a year with him should do you good. He found success when he was here because he worked for he found success with McDaniels, with Mac Jones's rookie year, even going before that. He was on this team. He worked with Gronkowski. So, I mean, he's got ties to New England, and they like bringing people back that they're familiar with. It's going to be Nick Caley.
I was going to ask you about Wes Welker.
No, we didn't even interview him. These are like names just because they used to play for the Patriots. People were talking about Troy Brown. Troy Brown's already on our coaching staff, but I think they would want to promote from more of a within or just take on an established person and not give someone a new chance that's completely from the outside. I like Wes Welker as if you're talking like Patriots and like classic, that dude's the man, but he's not ready to be the OC of the New England Patriots in a rebuild. Sorry, not yet.
Okay. So why has Bill Belichick not been hired? Is it because he has to rely on veterans and has ridden the coattails of Brady for 6 championships?
Ouch.
Yeah, so that is a
GM
comment
power.
that you
GM
were hoping
power.
to get the reaction for.
No,
yeah, so it's quite obvious
That's
that
not
you
your
didn't
spicy meatball.
It's quite obvious you didn't
I'm actually
ride
coming up with questions for
coattails.
specific people. This is great. I love this.
Belichick doesn't have a job because he wants to be the GM and the coach, and so he can't. Secondly, he gets paid if he tries to get a job, whereas if he doesn't try to get a job, he's not entitled to his money. So a little bit of it was, I wonder,
based on
does he just go for what's that?
I didn't know that. The whole thing you just said.
You have to try to get a job. Unemployment. If you're unemployed, you have to try to get a job. So part of it is so he interviewed with Arthur Blank. He's Arthur Blank. Will you tweet out that I interviewed with you? Everyone will know I tried to get a job. Then I'm going to collect my $25 million that Kraft owes me because F that guy on the way out. Yeah. That guy really didn't do me any favors. He's paying me. There's no way I'm not getting my money. Maybe I'll take over and be head coach and GM, but unless you're going to give me exactly what I want, I'm not going to, if I don't get that, I'm not coaching. No big deal to me. Everyone's going to make a big deal about it, but he just doesn't care about us. We just think it's all about us as the viewers, and he just doesn't care about us. He'll be next year collecting Kraft's money and collecting Fox News money while he hangs out with Brady, commenting on games with Gronk. He's going to be living the dream. And we're going to be going, man, he wins again. Was he riding Fox's coattails this time? But he'll be out there making money doing his thing, and his sons will be coaching
making that much just to talk football after years of coaching. The only reason this dude accepts less and gets over this GM thing is if he's just dying to win the all-time coaching the win record, which is possible. But I think it already would have happened. He would have taken a job now, unless there's there is possibility, some golden opportunities that'll be available next year. Cause I think Philly and Dallas Jerry always waits, but Philly and Dallas might be available if they flame out again, which I honestly think both are. I think both teams are going to suck this year. So I think both head coaching options are going to be available next year. So maybe Belichick takes one of those. We'll see.
Maybe
someone would have to. It's just if he wants to win the head coaching, the all-time wins thing. It's going to come down to if he can stomach not getting a GM to win that.
Yeah, but if he takes over for a team, then they already have a GM. They already have an established. He can't be czar,
especially not in Dallas. Jerry GM.
Oh,
no, he can't be in Dallas. That would be the one scenario where he could, because if he goes to Dallas, Jerry is now hiring someone to take the keys. He's saying, I've been meddling.
Really
I don't
interesting.
trust anybody in the entire
Jerry would
organization.
never do that.
His
ego's too big.
No, I disagree.
He's like, I'm
You
hiring.
got to hear the whole. You got to hear the whole take. You got to hear the whole take.
Sorry.
So Jerry is basically saying, I need a medal because I don't trust. But Belichick, that's a guy I trust. I'll give him the keys and let him drive the Rari.
I think he would actually hire Belichick.
Sorry, Pete.
Where he would actually he could actually say, put another feather in cap and say, I have the all-time winningest coach in the history of the NFL.
6-time Super Bowl champion.
Who does Jerry Jones hate? Robert Kraft.
Yes, that's true.
Oh, so true. Hey, I like it. Sorry, I interrupted.
I took your coach and won with him. Something you couldn't do, buddy. Wouldn't he like the mic drop on him?
Yeah.
I gotta let you have your whole takes. That was worth it. That was great. You got right in the camera.
I build up to the steamy hot takes. They're steamy hot. You're just gonna let me build a little.
I'll let you build them a little. I'm sorry.
Yeah, let me build.
You're fair enough. I got my Herbert take, and I promise you, Jordan Love is not in my top 5.
Oh yeah, that's right. We gotta do the top 10.
You gotta let me have it. Are we gonna just? You want me to spit my top 10, or you guys want to do a draft? It's up to you.
Do the top 10.
And was that your steamy take, Med?
Yours will probably be, because I hope that there is actually a Chargers fan in the comments right now.
God, I hope so. They've waited an hour 50 minutes. We made them wait, man. Like way too long. Was that your steamy take for him though? I'm guessing it was, right?
The Belichick one, because he was riding Brady's coattails.
I'm gonna laugh if he's at Fox with everybody else. That's gonna be great. Did anybody have anything else before this Charger thing? Because I want everybody to get their crap out of the way.
No, I'm just no comment to the riding the coattails nonsense.
Man, I'm not gonna lie, this has been so much fun. Like the funny thing is, I don't think Joe's trying to trigger you. I think he just is going.
That's why it's triggering. Great. It's because it's his actual thoughts. It's just so alarming. It'd be better if it was for a joke.
Well, the whole thing with the one thing I had a problem with, I got to hit this really quick because I really do want to do the server thing. But the one thing I got to hit really quick, and that I want to try to get this done in around 2 hours. The whole field goal thing at the end of the first half thing, that was the one thing I didn't agree with. But we talked about it earlier in the Lions game, because like that to me was the right decision, was to take that field goal and get up 3 scores. You had to get up 3 scores there. You don't get that. You don't get any points there. You're giving them so much momentum, and then later stop the bleeding, get the lead, or close the gap. I didn't agree with that take. So that was just me, though. So
I don't agree with it either.
So that was just me, but I like Joe's got some good takes. But all right, this is gonna be fun. Do you want me to spit my top 10? How are we doing this?
We could go 1 all the way around.
Yep.
That sounds good. I like the way we did it earlier. That was fun.
Yeah, do it that way.
Around the world.
Around the world. Okay. All right, number 1, Mahomes. I'm going to make my list, too.
Go, Cat.
I'm not going to write everybody's down because you're going to spit them out too quick. So what's everybody's 1, Janae?
I guess Brady.
No, right now. Not all time. Like, who's playing right now?
Like all time right now.
All time right now?
Not all time. Like, yeah, who's playing in the NFL right now? We already did all time. Right now, playing in the NFL, who is the best? We're going to try to get 10 quarterbacks. Or 5. We're going to go to 5 and see if we want to get to 10.
I'm kind of feeling Josh Allen.
Okay.
Okay.
Ned?
Mahomes.
Pete?
Yeah, Mahomes.
Okay, 2. I'm going to go, I'm going to go Josh Allen.
I'm going to have to go with, I'm going to have to go with, I don't want to say it. I'm going to have to go with Purdy.
All right. Med?
I'm going with the only guy that has beaten Patrick Mahomes that's still in the NFL with Joe Burrow.
Yeah, that's my next one. Pete?
Lamar Jackson.
Ooh, I like it. Okay, my number 3 is Burrow.
Mine is Lamar, believe it or not.
Okay.
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. Okay, my 4. This one's tough. I'm going to go Lamar.
I'm going to have to go with Love because I see potential.
He was actually 4th in QBR. So there you go.
It's fitting.
I didn't
You
go
haven't said
Jordan Love,
Mahomes yet. We're on Love.
I don't like Patricia.
My wife hates him too. She'd probably make the same list.
I don't like
She hates him.
Patricia. Sorry.
She hates him.
Trust me, Pete, I'm with you on that one. That's not a Bears fan thing either. Jackson for me, number 4.
Okay, and then I'm going CJ Stroud. I saw it enough
You guys
this year.
skip me like that?
You skip Pete?
Oh, dude, sorry.
It's a disrespect up in here.
I was moving the phone. I'm so sorry. I'm
Forget
so
about
sorry.
it.
Pete, who's your 4? I'm so sorry.
Dak.
Okay, so I like it. Wait, really quick. Joe's got his top 4, then I'm going to give mine. Burrow, Allen, Herbert, Stroud. No. Mahomes. Mahomes got to be
We're
one.
doing the top. Tell Joe we're doing the best quarterbacks, not
The best
not the
quarterbacks, dude. The
quarterback.
Mahomes wasn't in your
Dude,
list.
make
so
your best
it's
quarterbacks
disregarded.
list.
Disregarded, man.
What
Okay.
list could this be? Can we go around the room and try to figure out what the heck this list could even be? Like, pick your 4th, your 7th, and your 8th quarter. Like, what is this list? Burrow, Allen, Herbert, Stroud. What is common amongst those 4 quarterbacks?
My bad. I thought Mahomes was excluded. No, we picked Mahomes. Janae
Pay
excluded
attention,
him,
Joe.
but we didn't. Okay, so my 5th. I was really torn here, but I went Stroud at 5. So he just didn't crack it. And I've actually got. We'll see. I'll keep going. Janae, what's yours? What's 5?
Here it comes. Just gonna go golf. Just to stab Patricia Mahomes a few more times.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Yeah, golf. No, you know what? I take that back. Stafford.
Ooh,
Interesting.
His arm's about to fall off, but I get it. Brock Purdy.
Yeah, Brock Purdy's my 5th.
Okay, 6 for me. This one was really, really, really tough. But
I'm waiting
right
for
now, yeah, I'll go Purdy at 6.
Okay.
Watch me keep going, and I can make legitimate arguments against Herbert on any of these. Having a career losing record, having an 0-1 playoff record, and blowing a 27-0 lead. And I know it's the defense, but do something and a half to stop the bleeding. And I know he's had the worst coach, but he's had talent on D, and he's had all those offensive weapons at times to do more than this. So he's not.
Did you trigger yourself just then?
Oh,
Did you nobody mentioned Justin?
I had to
Nobody
weigh
mentioned
Herbert
him.
right
Nobody
now.
mentioned Justin Herbert, dude. Like, you mentioned Justin Herbert, then
Dude,
went off.
I had a guy tell me I couldn't
We didn't
read.
say it.
I had a guy on Twitter tell me I couldn't read in an argument, and I was like,
affected
"Yeah,
you.
blocked." He
Only
was like,
on-
"You
that's
effing
gotten
blah blah blah."
triggered
I was like, I had like 5 guys come at me, and I was like, "Bro, I just expect more with that arm talent and the anointed status that he gets. He's
Don't let them
overrated."
rent space in your head like that. They got some rent-free space going on. 'cause
Well,
you
I've
just triggered yourself.
also been like here. I've been in fight mode since the whole family death thing.
Yeah,
fair.
So I've been in
You
a
have an
fight
out.
mode. I probably brought it upon myself by giving some hot takes on Twitter. So I just had to get it out, and I don't care anymore because they're blocked. But I wanted them to hear this. Oh wait,
Oh,
they're
you
blocked. They
should-
can't
you
hear.
should've kept them.
I'm not mad. Handle
I
your
should have
business.
kept them.
You should've
No,
kept
you're right. All right, Janae, what's 6?
Golf. I have to go with golf on that one.
Joe's got a legit list. I'll throw after Pete's. All right, Med.
I got Justin Herbert, number 6.
You didn't make your top 5. There you go.
That was a big thing between
Why
me
you
and
gotta
He's number
trigger
2,
that
Matt
name?
Jones, in their top 5. That's good.
We're not doing bottom
Sorry,
5
Pete.
list.
All right. Pete, who's your 6?
Burrow.
He's actually in my bottom 5 list.
Yeah, I wanted to do a bottom 5. Joe's top 5. He's got Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, Herbert, and either Lamar or Stroud. Okay, my 7th is
It's
Stafford.
6.
But you haven't even let Pete get his 6th.
I did. I said Burrow.
Oh,
So
you did?
Burrow.
Okay.
I
thought you said
listened.
Mac Jones.
I even waited
I'm
this
gonna go
time.
with Burrow on this
Respectfully.
one.
Okay, I got Stafford. So we got Stafford, Burrow. Okay. What you got, Med?
Love. As in your boy Love.
Yeah.
This is me as
You threw him up higher than I did. I love it. Two people threw up Love higher than me, and I'm giving my legit list.
Shit, but sorry.
Keith,
But,
what you
yeah,
got?
no,
Who's 7?
Stroud.
I like it. Okay, 8. I have to do it because I just don't believe in the guy come playoff time. I'll go Love on this one.
Oh.
I have to go with Stroud on this one. He just looks scared and nervous when he get out there sometimes. And he just looks, no.
Yeah.
That's because he was playing Baltimore. I went with Stroud there.
Or maybe it's because he's from Ohio State.
Ooh.
So you got Stroud. We still got 7 viewers 2 hours in. I love this. This is awesome. People are hanging with us. Thank you, all the listeners. I haven't said it enough. I've got a big shout out at the end for y'all. Seriously. All right, Pete, what you got?
My 8th pick is Tua.
Chua. Okay. 9th. I was really, really torn here when I was making my list. Yeah, I think I'll go Herbert here. 9.
I'm gonna have to go with Tua. I'm gonna have to back my homeboy Pete on this one, Tua.
Tua does not have the arm in Miami. I'm sorry. If
the arm strength is more.
It's me with Tua, and I'm an Alabama fan. So I mean, you would think.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. So all them championships, Stroud. No, wait, no, I already said Stroud.
You said Stroud. We're on 9.
It's Stroud. Oh, we're on 9. I went Goff.
Pete?
Goff's my 9th.
And then 10, I'm going to go Jalen Hurts. My 11th, my honorable mention would be Dak. So Herbert cracked my top 10. There's talent. I'm giving respect, just not top 5 respect.
Hurts.
Janae, what you got?
Hurts.
I
told you Patricia's not making my list. Lies.
Is he in your bottom 5?
No.
Middle? Okay.
He's a negative 6.39999. No.
Pete, what you got?
0.39999.
Hurts is my 10th.
Yeah, that was I couldn't Super Bowl appearance versus okay, Joe's got his bottom is 6 through 10. Love, Goff, Hurts, Tua, and Dak. And Pete, I will work on letting you get your spicy takes in because I'm hoping you join us more often. So I apologize. I was fired up, and they did live a little rent free in my head, but also I've been in fight mode.
Well, he crapped all over Herbert. And
oh man.
I literally found this meme.
I also made a really bad I made a Dan Campbell take that got a bunch of people fired up, and I didn't say fireable. I said, should he be under fire for his decisions? In my opinion, yes. They got them there, and they also probably cost him a Super Bowl berth or a really good chance at it, at least. So he needs to be under fire for making questionable decisions. I love the dude. He's one of my favorite coaches in the league, but he made questionable decisions. And then this one really burned me. And I asked a question. Oh my God. But I asked if the Packers which they should do with Kenny Clark. That got me under fire. That was fun. I said,
what now?
Well, here's the problem. With Kenny Clark, his cap number is 27, but it goes down to I think like 13 next year. Mm-hmm. So if they can figure out some cap gymnastics, they're not in the same position as like the Chargers. They can figure this out by just cutting a couple dudes. They should keep him. But I was saying, should you extend him, trade him, or release him? It was a game. I wouldn't cut him. I didn't say that.
But people got in their feelings. Got you.
People got in them feelings. I wouldn't do it. He had a career year. And I was silly I probably shouldn't even put cut on there. I should have said extend or restructure deal right now. But I didn't phrase it that way. So that's my bad. That was a tweet too quick one. I tweeted too fast on that one. So, all right. Anybody got any other topics before we do plugs and some upcoming stuff?
The one hot take I got is that sometimes, and I kind of went over this on my audio list show earlier today, is one thing that really bugs me is that it seems like nowadays everyone wants everything to be a record. Like, this is the first time someone has done this. And they did it with Brock Purdy. And now he played an awesome game in that second half, but at the same time, Do you really need to trump? You can trumpet Travis Kelce becoming the reception leader over Jerry Rice in the playoffs. But when you trumpet Brock Purdy going 150 yards, 45 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns, and is the first player to do it, I mean, you're really reaching for trying to really create a moment that you don't really need to create, in my opinion. It's like basically playing a full contact Pro Bowl. Now it's flag football. Just pat him on the back. Say good job.
Fair enough. Pete, you got any hot takes? You had a lot.
Yeah, man. Listen to the past 2 hours. Those are my hot takes. Listen to me next week on the. Listen to my episode yesterday. I had some spicy hot takes about the Patriots offseason.
You did too.
Next week we were gonna have some spicy hot takes with the Super Bowl. So I mean, spicy hot takes just all the time.
I forgot. I'm coming on your show Friday, and I hope we get you back on here next week because it was a blast, dude. I'm going on Pete's show on Friday. That's some of my news. I'll spill in a second. Janae, got any hot takes?
Baccarati needs to be cut to help free up the cap.
Wow. Just read that.
Yep, I'm gangster with it. I said it.
Purdy is the first player to have 45 yards rushing under. I can't even. He would have lost his mind if Joe was on the show right now, I swear. Oh man, this was actually
they should actually
I had a blast with my wife, but I had a blast with y'all tonight. Sorry I interrupted so much, Pete. Hey guys, seriously, this was awesome. I needed this, so thank you.
How are you doing, by the way?
Yeah, I know. We're wrapping up. We're literally wrapping up. My wife's like, hey, it's been 2 hours. I'm trying. This helps. It's been fun because I'm sad because I'm going to take a break right after the season for a couple weeks. Hopefully from all shows. I think I need it. But trying,
that's all you can do, brother.
Voice cracks when I say it. As time goes, it gets easier and harder at the same time because it's the one person other than the wife that I would talk to more than anything, even my dad. But like Pete said, at least you got a couple friends to talk to. They've been friends for almost 25 years. So that helps. And Med's been legit. And Pete, you've talked to me a bunch. I just want to say I appreciate that. And I'm sorry, I'll work on interrupting, but
it's okay.
Talking to you two on the side has helped a bunch.
No problem.
Thanks,
anytime
guys.
you need me, brother, just message me. I got you.
Exactly.
Sounds good. Thank you. Thanks for hopping on the show, all three of you. I know Med was busy, but thanks for hopping on Friday's show.
This is fun for me. I love doing this. I love talking football. I love football. It is just nice to be able to come up here and, just kick it.
And it's less people than Frozen Tundra, so that helps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They've got like 8 people on there. But we are gonna for the mock draft. So the stuff coming up, Med, you want to do the mock draft and I'll say my stuff?
Yeah, I think it's kind of crazy that Isaac, you thanked me for hopping on to the show that I co-host with you when I'm not doing my own show.
I meant on Fridays and just that's what I meant.
Okay. I was like,
that's what I meant.
Thanks, Isaac.
No. Yeah, I know. No, I did actually mean Fridays, but yeah. Because you hopped on for a second, so yeah.
Yeah. So Janae actually has met me before. Pete has. Everyone in this room right now has met me. My name is Med. I work with my show is Shots from the Sidelines, and we will be doing a mock draft that will be featuring 8 podcasters for those that are new to the show and everything like that. Pete's going to be in there. We're going to have that mock draft guy, Ben Hollingsworth from Death, Taxes, and
nice.
Myself, my co-host Seth. We even got Isaac and his dad coming into it. So we'll have.
Oh, this is going to be good. I'm tuning in. I'm going to watch.
So we're going to be doing this probably early April. So that way all of us get a chance to really dig into the teams that we're going to select. I got a little spinny wheel that I will broadcast at one point on this show that will, it just randomizes the team because, what's fun if you actually know the team before you actually do it. So after the Super Bowl happens, probably in about a month or so, we'll do the little spinny random wheel thing and everyone gets their teams then. And then we'll invite everyone in to actually see what teams they got.
And I'm hopping on. I didn't mean to make it such a busy week. I was trying to lessen the load. But I've had a lot of people. I think it's because football's ending and more people have watched the show recently. It's gotten a lot of views, which has been. It helps keep it going in times like this. But I'm going to be hopping on with Talking Packers with Steve tomorrow on his show with a bunch of people, Packers. I'm going to be going on Pete's show on Friday. This Friday, right, Pete?
We're going to do it the Friday before the Super Bowl.
Oh, so it's next Friday. Sorry. I had that mixed up. So I'm hopping on Pete's show next Friday. I wasn't sure if it was both. So I'm going to be hopping on Pete's show next Friday. We're going to be doing the Super Bowl picks. I'm going to have Fun Football Pod this Friday with Bill, and then hopefully next week. And then on Saturday, I'm going to be hopping on too many shows. American Football Network. I'm pretty excited. They did a breakdown during the game, so that was pretty cool. Also, I didn't really announce it to y'all. I told Med. I didn't tell you guys. I'm organizing a March Madness bracket, totally unrelated to football. If y'all want to join, if we want to make it money, we can, or it can be free. It's no big deal to me. Seriously, we already have 8 people, so if y'all are interested, that's cool. And we're also looking for people, I want to say it on the show, to join. If they want to join Podcast Boys Network, it's free. It's just a way to broadcast your shows. We joined Shady Sports for that reason. We didn't plug them in the beginning because I did my emotional thing. We'll start doing better with that. They were on the freaking banner at the beginning, and they're all over the place on the background. But thank you to Shady for having us. We're on their Twitter right now, on YouTube, and on Facebook. But me and Med started Podcast Boys Network. So if any other people want to join, we've got 3 shows on there right now. We'd love to get more and get up to maybe 10. But maybe that's just a way to
show.
I would love to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep. And then other than that, I just want to say thanks to everybody and all the listeners for helping the Fun Football Pod hit such awesome numbers. And I haven't looked yet, but I already know there's been a ton on this one. So I just want to say thank you. We'd love to have more people on, like Janae hopped on tonight. If you want to hop on, give us a shout.
Just contact us. I mean, you can find us both on Twitter, and we are open to whatever, pretty much. We are talking to NFL Outdated right now and also NFL Draft people, and we're going to probably be pulling them on to this show in the future, or even really Isaac's show with Fun Football Podcast and my show with Shots. So I worked on some intros. They took a minute to make, and I want us to use them. Damn it. So.
And also, I haven't talked to the wife. I might tweak the logo a little bit, but I might have some merchandise coming in the near future too. Ooh. I have a coworker at work that makes tumblers and shirts, so I'll let y'all know. So,
okay, that's
news that I didn't even tell Med yet. So yeah, but Pete, thank you so much for filling in last week. That meant a ton that they were able to, or 2 weeks ago, that they were able to do this.
Yeah, I'm just sorry.
Med, thanks for
Cowboys podcast. That's the only thing.
Yeah. Med, thank you for everything, dude. You guys both are awesome.
No
and
problem.
Janae, thanks for reaching out too. So
no
appreciate it, guys. So all the listeners, we'll be back. This is a roundtable thing happening every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope you all join us every Tuesday. This is going to be a regular thing. We'd like to have it be 3 or 4 or 5 people every week. That's, I think, me and Med's vision.
Yeah.
And Pete, you're welcome on anytime. Janae, you're welcome on anytime.
And Pete, go ahead and plug yours, man. Plug you.
Say that again.
Go ahead and plug your show.
Oh yeah.
Will you remove Mr. Joseph's comment, and then I'll read.
How do I end it? Like, how do I just get off the comment?
You just hit hide.
Oh, there we go. There you go. Now I know how to do it. I'm gonna start. I didn't know how to do that until now. Now I'll do that all the time. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. It just makes it easier. I'm just pointing with my finger. There's my at Pete_Collins_. Yeah, just look down. I'm the host of the Foxborough Fellas podcast. We talked Patriots earlier. That's what we talk on that show. But I also run, like you're joining Isaac on Friday. We've been running a playoff betting show. So I'm just down to talk sports. My show, the Foxborough Fellas podcast, is under the Boston Sports Entertainment Network. So if you're a Boston fan, we got the Sox covered, the Celtics covered, the Bruins covered. So we're really Boston.
Talk some Celtics with you, dude. That'd be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, talk some Celtics with me.
I actually love basketball. I've been debating starting a basketball thing.
Yeah, I mean, if you do link up, Dynasty Proud as the Celtics podcast. They know their stuff. My boy Alex over there and I were talking football too. I mean, he knows his stuff. But yeah, link up with Dynasty Proud. They would love to talk basketball with you. And maybe you cover your area, they cover their area. I think you guys have got something going. But yeah, no, check out Besson, check out Foxborough Fellas, check me out. Thank you guys for having me on. Thank you, Janae. It's been real.
And Throwback fan, shouting out to Throwback fan. I noticed that Anthony Munoz in the background. And is that a Stevie franchise?
Oh yeah.
No. Oh, nice.
Yep, got a couple of auto jerseys that I got. I'm a big card collector. You can see over. I'm pointing the wrong way. There.
Hey, send me that thing on. I tried finding it. Send me the Dynasty thing on Twitter after this. Okay.
There is one other thing that I would like to actually do, and it's to actually do an all-time fantasy football draft.
I'm down.
That would be bomb.
That's like
that'd be cool. We should get a big panel for that. That'd be fun. We should do like 8 to 10.
Oh, yes. Well, we'll do it like you could actually fill out your whole starting roster. How about that? 10 people.
Ooh.
That'd be cool. We'll have to come up with time for that. That'd be cool. Mm-hmm. Also, one more thing really quick. If anybody has any playoff squares, I'd like to get in. So if you guys know anybody, let me know for the Super Bowl.
We will. I'll hit you up. I got you. When it comes to the gambling and the squares and the stuff, talk to you guys.
I'm trying not to be too bad with it because I've been not betting on games other than my picks, which has been brutal. We won twice, and it was still.
Oh man, I hit my Lions plus 7.5. My Ravens -4 didn't do any good for me, but it's all about the props, baby. I was all over the props. My Justice Hill didn't do well.
Yeah, if the Ravens had kept running the ball, you would have gotten it.
They handed it off first play of the game. I'm like, oh man, he's going for 20 carries. This is a stud prop pick, and then that was half of his carries. So that did not work out.
Harbaugh forgot that he could run the ball.
Yeah, the best run game in the entire offense.
Brutal. Yeah. Janae, thanks you for hopping on a dime. I didn't know what you meant on my show. I was like, what does she mean by link? What is she talking about?
Oh yeah.
Now I know. Now I know what you're talking about. Ned, thank you, dude. We will be back next Tuesday. I don't know who's going to be on. We'll probably hit Pete up. Did we have a guest for next week?
NFL outdated was talking to us. We'll go and start communicating with them, and then NFL draft, the mock draft guy. He not that mock draft guy, but a different one that you've been talking to. He reached out a little bit, so we'll see if we can get him on here.
And we kept viewers for over 2 hours and 15 minutes. Thank you guys are troopers. We'll be back next week. Oh, one more thing, viewers. Please, if you leave comments, I'll include them in the show, like the Justin Herbert amazingness, but not angry. So if you leave comments, I'd love to have them in the show. They can be off the air, and I'd love to include them, like the JB Fangio thing or anything that we get during the week. So we have an email now. It's up on Twitter, but if you have comments, shoot us on Facebook, shoot us a message on Twitter. So yeah, but thank you guys, and we'll be back next Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern time.
Sounds wonderful.
I'll be here.
Peace.